is Harvey Wall. It's a home run for Bucky Bench. Fumble. Giants have it. Lawrence Taylor strokes the ball. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
You are currently listening to a live broadcast of the Hard Rocket Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. When this episode of the Hard Rocket Sports Show is complete, you can find it and all past episodes of our show on Spotify by going to Spotify.com, finding the podcast section, and searching for Hard Rocket Sports.
With the players.
Live direct from hell.
But hey, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
And that is my cue to start the show. Welcome to another Thursday edition of the Hard Rocket Sports Show, live from high atop Hard Rocket Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your weekly 3-hour get-together where we bring you all the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, and, of course, the wide world of sports. And, guys, welcome to Thursday night, July the 15th. Hot and humid Thursday. That's right, folks. And I am toughing this one out. I had a really long day, got home very late, and I thought just for a second about canceling tonight's show. But how can I not stare across the screen from my dear friend, the former birthday boy, who's probably still celebrating his birthday, Jeff Towinski. So I said, we got to tough this one out, folks. We got to Hulk Hogan it. We got to get it all ready. We got to go to the mountaintop, and we got to get ready for tonight's show, and I did that. So I'm ready. I don't have a ton of material, but we're going to have some fun. I got a few topics. I got more than a few topics. First off, I want to wish all the boys, all the guys, and everybody over at RFL Records a happy 5th anniversary. I was lucky enough to be asked and invited on to their anniversary show last night. So to John, Doug, and everybody at the RFL Records, Jeff Westlake, all the guys, all the bands, all the people there, please thank you from all of us at Hard Rocket Sports. Congratulations. Much, much, much more success for you guys. And thanks for letting us be a small part of what you guys do at RFL Records. Continued success, John. You know we love all you guys. And thanks again for letting us be part of the, I'm involved in the roundtable. Jeff's soon to be involved. I think the next one around, hopefully Jeff can be involved. And we'll have some fun in the future. But congratulations to everybody at RFL. We got a lot to talk about today. We got the All-Star game. I don't care about it. I thought the home run derby was atrocious. The camera angles were terrible. We'll talk about the uniforms if you want to talk about it. Who cares? We'll talk. The Yankees got COVID. I think the Carmine dropped the hammer on the Yankees. We got a COVID situation for our beloved Bombers. We'll talk about the Mets and Marcus May. Peter, who's the best Kiss drummer? Peter Criss, Eric Carr, Eric Singer. Let's see, new Rams uniforms again. Super Bowl odds. We'll talk about that. MLB's changing some rules. Yankees, Astros. Is that the new Red Sox Yankees rivalry? Is it better? We'll check that out. Darren Michael Boyd stops by for a quick interview. We'll talk about the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL ahead of our big August 5th NFL training camp show. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Ratings are down in the NBA Finals. Good for them. The Redskins will change their name officially next year. We'll talk about, again, new rules in the NBA. Iron Maiden's got a new single out. Just heard it before the show. We'll get to that tonight. Reggie Bush wants his Heisman back. Screw him. Shark Week. I love Shark Week. NFL training camp show again, August the 5th. And, of course, if you open the song tonight with a little something from my good friend Jeff Westlake, coming back home from the Dead World album. Love Jeff Westlake, one of the best musicians out there. Guys, I hope you've had a great week. We're going to kick the show right off because I don't want to fall asleep. I am exhausted. The heat, I know that heat stroke today. I'm too old for this. I got to get out. Somehow, the ratings are back up in Israel. Maybe somewhere down the line, somebody will snatch Jeff and I up and get us on the radio full time, even if it's in Israel. I think Jeff and I can do an Israel show. I think it's possible. Let's get Jeff on and find out if he would do a show from Israel. Jeff, what do you think, Jeff?
Shalom, motherfucker.
There you go. That's easy. See that?
And let me take it one step further.
You will.
Good evening from Pinky Macberg and the Czar, baby. We are here for all of your subtle Jewish needs, people in Israel. How's that?
This is not the Pinky Macberg show. Forget it. That's not happening.
Dude, let me tell you, it is the Pink Macanudo himself with the giant, rocking the giant hat on. I got questions. I've been sending you material all week.
You have? You've been back on your game this week? You're a little refreshed. I see that. You sent me some stuff. Conor McGregor. You got a little bit of Paul Orndorff stuff. You got some stuff coming
Well,
out.
listen, some people supplied us with stuff. Well, we have to thank those who died this week to give us something to report. So
That's true.
I had nothing to do with that.
All right. Well, let's start with the usual. Jeff, how was your week?
Dude, it was all right. I've been on vacation. It's been all right. I've been spending most of it by myself because Sharon had to go back to work, but that's okay. Me and the dog have been fine. We have breakfast. We take naps.
Nice.
It's been good. Yes.
Nice.
We started last week with the birthday show. Then we went out to eat with you on Friday night. You and Edie. That was always nice to hang out with you guys.
Absolutely.
Wish we could happen more often. Then on Saturday, my wife took me to the city where we went to the top of the Freedom Tower.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. I would suggest to do that, but take a loan out first because it's expensive.
Oh, really?
Then we went to the 911 museum, which was cool. Very informative, and it's something that I think that if you were there that day or you lived in New York, maybe you should want to consider go to see that.
Okay.
It was nice. It was nicely done.
Okay.
Then we went to McSorley's and then out to eat. And then I was off with Sharon until Monday, so we just did some minor things. And then, here we are, Thursday night again.
Yes, they come quick, Jeff. I have to tell you, I had a tough week, and I nearly pulled the plug on the show, but I hooked it out. I gave it a little 24-inch biceps and went for it and said, let's go. Let's do the show. I'll tough it out. I'm a little tired. I didn't get to get home and even shower. So anybody in this room would probably not sit. Social distancing takes a whole new meaning in my room tonight.
I just changed the name on my bannerman.
You did? Well, Pinky Macberg, I see it now, yes. But, Jeff, we got a lot to get to.
Well, listen, let's do what we got to do, and then you're free to – I know for a fact that parts of you got to be cleaned up.
Yeah, I definitely –
You rushed along for certain things, and I'm not going to lie to you. I rushed too.
Yeah, so, again, I am not as fresh as I should be, but I am alone in the studio. We got 2 callers on the line. I want to get to – I think Carmine's hanging, and then we'll get my dad. And then it's a free-for-all. So we'll see how it plays out from there. But, Jeff, I hope your birthday went well. It was a fun show. It was a very, very popular show last week. We had one of our highest ratings of the show. So that was good news.
That explains why.
Why what?
There was the sudden surge.
Yes.
In the Middle East.
We are up 1.5 points in the ratings in Israel. So
no, we're up over 10.
No, 1.5 points. We were at 6 and change. We are now almost 8.
Whoa.
We're back up to 8. Our highest has been 9 and change. I don't think we quite hit 10.
I know why.
You know why?
Oh, yeah.
You got to figure it out?
Oh, yes.
Well, keep it to yourself because I'm sure it's not good.
It is the birth of an antichrist.
Well, let's get 5 minutes with the doctor. I wasn't prepared for him tonight, but he must have something magical to say.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now so he can hear me. I saw his video the other day.
Yes.
I thought of as usual, very amusing. I love them. But if he's turning soft.
He did get soft.
If he's turning soft.
He did turn soft.
I've watched him. I've studied his videos. Guess what? Guess who else could do that?
You got it down?
I'm going to do it on him if he turns soft.
Wow. He's throwing a hammer at the doctor himself. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get him on. Let's get the doctor
on. But that's if he turns soft.
Let's see. Again, folks, all the comments made by the doctor himself are his and his alone and do not represent those here at the Hard Rocket Sports Show, but we love him anyway. Doctor, are you joining us this evening? Carmine? I guess not. Let's put him back on hold.
Who else you got on hold?
All right, so my dad's on hold. Let's get my dad on. We'll get him up and see what Pop's got to say this week. What's up, Dad?
Okay, how you doing?
Good. What's up, Pop?
I just watched the All-Star game.
Uh-huh.
I thought, there's something wrong with that kid.
There's something wrong with what?
With that young man from the Mets.
Alonzo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a mental imbalance.
He's not well liked. I got the impression he was not well liked because I didn't see anybody really come up to him and congratulate him or anything.
Oh, no?
No, you,
I didn't watch it. I watched the very, 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 very end of it.
I'm talking about the home run derby.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch it, Dad, to be honest with you. I caught the first few batters, but I did not watch. I did not watch him watch the whole thing. So I wouldn't give it the time of day. I thought that if you watch the home run derby, the angle of the shots of the home runs was the worst. You never knew where the ball was landing. It was terrible.
Know where it was.
Yeah.
They were hitting home runs. He was swinging at the next pitch, and the ball was still in the air.
Yeah.
Ball out of the air.
Yeah, it was terrible. I watched the first round and then maybe a batter, and then I got bored of it and I got away from it. And I didn't watch more than.
He was very. I was very impressed with his home run swing.
Okay.
He does have a. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't even breaking a sweat.
Mhm.
He wasn't getting tired and nothing. First time, I think he had 35 home runs on his first shot.
Yes. Yeah, he hit 74 total homers. So it's impressive. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's impressive, but
He was making me laugh. He was hopping all over the place.
yeah, it wasn't
Like he was listening to music.
yeah. Hey Patrick, how are you? Yeah, I gotta tell you that
What's up, Patrick?
when I was a kid, I don't know how much of the All-Star game you got to see when you were younger, and how much you paid attention to it. But for me as a kid, I loved it because it was magical in the sense that guys played on the same field that you wouldn't normally see, and guys played against each other who you wouldn't normally get to see, and the batters and the hitters. But I got to tell you, the big part of it was the uniforms. And I'll show Jeff after you hang up because it's hard for me to share it while you're on the phone. The uniforms look like a softball team. You were swore they were playing softball.
Who was who?
Yeah, it was
Really?
terrible. I have to tell you. I'm not a fan of the game. It's the only All-Star game, Jeff, of all the big sports that is at least competitive and looks like the regular game. But Jeff, it's just not the same anymore.
It can't be anything like the regular game, dude. You know, you got all of these fucking multi-millionaires playing out on that field. God forbid one of them gets hurt in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you really think that these guys are going full speed? If I was the owner or the general manager or the coach, I wouldn't even want my guys involved in this game at any level. I just wouldn't want it.
Yeah, and you know what, Pop? I think it's I don't know how much you saw the game, and I caught replays and I saw the stuff, but I think the miking of the players, it's enough. Stop. They were actually, Jeff, talking. Yeah, they were actually.
When they were at the plate.
Yeah, Jeff, they were talking to the guy at bat, so the guy wasn't concentrating on it. So the guys,
who's talking to him?
The announcers, Joe Buck and those guys were talking to them. What were you expecting? They're like, Dad, do you really care what he was expecting pitch-wise in an All-Star game?
Really.
Now, if you want to say to them, hey, your season's going really well, what's like, you almost understand maybe it's like an interview thing, but you're asking the guy what pitch he's expecting in an All-Star game. The guy's going fastball, fastball, fastball. I mean, of course he's expecting a fastball.
It was like they were interviewing him while he's at the plate, and you could see they really didn't want, even after they hit and they made out, you could see they really didn't want to talk to him because you get yourself psyched up for it.
Yeah, again,
I thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah, I thought listen, forget the politics end of it. I wasn't watching it. I haven't watched the All-Star game in a long time. I've watched some the home run derbies, but I haven't watched the game in a long time. I don't find it interesting. But when I turned in and saw the uniforms, it was enough for me. I was like, I'm out. This is terrible.
But you know what's different when we were kids?
What?
We didn't get to see the National League players.
Yeah.
So don't forget the Giants and Dodgers left. So the other way, we saw Stan Musial, Willie Mays, and those guys was in the All-Star game. So and they used to play 2 of them a year, not 1.
Correct, but Jeff. Here's the thing about the All-Star game. When we were in the '70s and we were watching that, you didn't get to see them, teams like the St. Louis Cardinals unless they were playing the Mets, and we didn't watch a lot of Met games, So when you turned it on and you got to see all these Cincinnati Red players and the Cardinals and then the Yankees were on the field, and you had the A's, and you watched Reggie Jackson playing right field, and instead of it was Freddie Lynn. It was like fantasy baseball come to life.
Yeah, I only knew when we were younger, and I'm talking younger before I even met you, 2 kids that were into the National League, and they weren't even Met fans. All right, it was Jay and Jerry Bossett.
Oh yeah,
and they went to the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds, and that was their teams. And like you're saying, unless you were watching the Mets, and the Mets definitely played the Phillies more than they played the Reds.
Yeah, sure.
But I remember the only other way to see baseball was Monday Night Baseball.
Well, Saturday afternoon, they had the game of the week, but we weren't in there watching those games.
Game of the week.
Yes.
Game of the week. You know what I mean? There was whatever home team were playing, and you got 2 outside games, a Monday nighter and what was it, Saturday night or whatever the fuck, it was Saturday afternoon, whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't even see these. You know what I mean?
Again,
you didn't see these guys.
Yeah, I think that the allure of free agency, obviously interleague play, has wiped away the beauty of the All-Star game. That's my opinion, Dad.
You know what the best. I think the best. I mean, I've seen a few All-Star games. The best one I saw was 19. I think it was 68. It was the last year of Mickey Mantle that he played.
Right.
And I never forget it. He was the captain, and Willie Mays was captain for the National League. Mantle came up. Don't ask me what inning. The pinch hit. Right. The pitcher from the National League put his glove down, went to home plate, and shook his hand.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
And I thought something that was really. When the hell did you ever see that before?
Yeah, because when was that guy ever going to play against Mickey Mantle? Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and he struck out, and Mantle said, "That's when I knew it was time to quit." Because this guy was feeling sorry for me, and I struck out anyway. So he knew it was time to quit.
Yeah, again. Now they were starting the second half of the year, Dad, and Yankees. We have a COVID outbreak on the Yankees, from what I understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
So no game tonight, but hopefully there's talk about making a doubleheader over the weekend and making up playing tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but again, as far as the All-Star game goes, they could do away with it. Give the guys 3 days off. Have a minor league All-Star game and let those kids come up and play in front of spotlight. And I'd rather see that. I would rather see that.
Yeah.
You want to make the All-Star game interesting?
Sure.
This is what I think they should do to make the All-Star game interesting. Without a doubt, vote for the players that you want to see.
Okay.
But also vote for the captains. One captain on the American League, one captain on the National League. Whatever you want to call the team, not important.
Right.
Okay. So now you have your captains. You have all of those people show up the day before the All-Star game. Okay. They show up on Monday night. They have a draft.
Okay.
Okay. You don't know who's going to. It's not going to be American League versus National League.
Okay. So
me and you were picked as captains. Okay. Yeah. I got more votes. I'm getting the first pick. You pick your teams. Next night you come and you play the game. Just like it, or even better yet, you want to make it really more to. I'll get people involved. Let them go out there and choose it, even in odds. How would that be?
Yeah.
Oh God, Jeff.
Let's toss the bat up in the air, Ken. Whoever gets the knob hand.
Yeah, listen, dude, you might as well, because nobody gives a shit about these fucking All-Star games.
No, I listen. I agree with you. I have to tell you, it's been 20 years since I cared about probably any of the other ones. And baseball is very sporadic. There has to be a catch to it for me. And Shohei Ohtani, DHing and pitching and all that didn't catch my attention.
They made too much of a big stink over.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, stop telling me he's the next Babe Ruth. I'm sorry. Do it for 3, 4, 5 years, and then we'll have a conversation. But don't.
He can't be the next Babe Ruth. Come on, stop.
I'm telling you, Jeff. That's all I read for the last week and a half. Next Babe Ruth. Guys. He's barely pitched 30 games in his career. I got he's hitting a ton of home runs right now. Let's see him do it for a couple of years. I'm telling you, a year or two from now, that guy's going to burn out, and it ain't going to be the same. That's it.
He's going to hurt himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Yeah. We'll certainly see.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I know you got people really looking to get in there.
Thanks, Pops.
Enjoy your weekend. Tommy, I'll talk to you over the weekend.
I'll see you over the weekend.
Say hello to everybody for me.
Thank you, Mr. See you later, Mr. Florido.
Take care.
That's my dad. He checks in every week, and we have a lot of fun with him. He always brings a different perspective to what we're talking about, what we're doing here. And of course, it's Jeff and I hanging in there. Nobody else is on the line. It's just me and Jeff. I figured that was not Jeff. That was not Carmine hanging in the phone. So,
Oh no, was it?
no, it was somebody else. That's cool.
Okay.
but-
Somebody you know?
Yes, we both know, but yes, it was somebody. Yeah. Anyway, show's kicking off. We got Jeff and myself. We're again next week. A couple announcements. Next Thursday, Bobby Gustafson, and a happy birthday to Bobby. Today's his birthday.
Yep.
So happy birthday to Bobby. Getting ready to go out on the road with Violence. So Bobby will be joining Jeff and I before he kicks off his embarking on his tour. So we're looking forward to talking to Staten Island's own and a former classmate of Jeff Donwinski back in the New Up high school days.
Yep.
When they were known as the Centrals then. I believe now they're known as the Cougars, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Cougars now. But anyway, so Bobby joins us next week. We'll be off the following Thursday night, which is the 29th. I'll be on vacation and, doing my thing. So we'll have a week off. And right back to it. August the 5th, the NFL training camp show. We do it every single year. In fact, the NFL training camp was the very, very first show I ever did as a radio guy. And exactly 7 years ago, July 31st, was the very first show. And Jeff came on episode 4 of the podcast. He joined me on that one and has pretty much been a staple of the show for the last 7 years, minus those 4 shows and a handful along the way. So we were celebrating an anniversary on July 31st, but the 29th show will be off. August 5th, the NFL training camp show. We'll break down the entire NFL division by divisions. We'll do our picks, and it's a blast. But we also have some guests that night, the boys from Barstool and Band Talk. Sean, Alex, and Dave will be checking in with us that night to make their first appearance on the show, and we'll be doing it. Jeff and I will be doing a guest shot on their show in the near future. Hopefully, leading to some bigger and better things from both shows. Great guys, and we'll have some fun with that. So, Jeff, we're looking forward to that. I know that's you, Paul. I thought it was Carmine, but thanks for hanging in there. It's our good buddy Paul D'Agostino hanging in there, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
That's who's
Tell him I said hello.
She's listening to you.
Well, I guess you can hear me, so yeah. Well, we got him. Paul, thank you for the video from last week. Once we were over, I was able to grab it and use it for, you know what I'm saying.
I got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why not?
I had a sudden release.
How did it feel to have all these people sending videos, wishing you a happy birthday? Doing all these nice things for you when you're really pretty much not a nice guy.
No, I am, and I'm the nicest guy you want to meet, man. As long as I like you, I'm the nicest guy you want to meet.
Paul said anytime.
How did it feel? I'll be honest with you. How it felt. It made me feel old, and I'll tell you why.
Because
when we were kids, right? If somebody didn't see you for your birthday, or if they didn't call you, you would get a card, and that would be it. Nowadays, we're all the way up to like pre-recorded videos, video phone calls, all of this stuff that could happen in today's day and age.
True.
So when you have a bunch of videos, birthday videos lined up, it's very cool for these people. They took time out of their day to make that, and that's very appreciative. But then when you think about it, you're like, oh man, 10 years ago, this wasn't around 10 years ago. Then nobody would have thought about this 10 years ago.
Very true.
Now it's like you just call ahead to somebody. Listen, I need a video. What's the guy's name? His name is Joe. How old is he? Oh, he's this age. Oh, he likes this. He likes that. All right, no problem.
Yeah.
And then they email it to you. It's like, what the fuck, man? Holy shit.
Yeah. So listen. Yeah. So listen, Jeff mentioned it before. We had 3 celebrity. I'll call it celebrity past deaths. First up that I heard about was Jeff LeBar, the guitarist. I think it's a guitar player or bass player.
Guitar player from Cinderella. It turns out, no official word has been announced about what happened to him, but his son found him dead.
Yeah.
And it seems as though that he used to like to play with substances and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if maybe he got sucked back in and he just took a little bit of too much or whatever it was at the time, and things caught up with him, which is a shame. you know,
Absolutely. Listen, 100%. I mean, listen, I said this last night on the RFL show, and you were missed last night on the RFL show.
I wish I could have made it. I actually, real quick, went out to eat. Tim Hilton from Red Rum came back up. He had some things to attend to up here.
Mm-hmm.
So him and his wife were up here. So a bunch of people associated with Red Rum met up, and we hung out. And it was nice to see these people. I haven't seen them, Tim, in 2 years, and the rest of these guys in over a year due to the pandemic. So it was nice to see some people last night, man.
Oh, good for you. I saw the pictures of you guys. That looked like a nice time. So good for you. At least your vacation, you got to see some people. We got to hang, and you went out with some other people and went to the city. And then, of course, last night with all the Red Rum people. But, so, yeah, I mean, I said it last night on the show. I wasn't the biggest Cinderella fan. I thought Tom Keefe had an amazing voice. And they have some great tunes. But, again, another passing of the legends and bands that will not be able to reunite in their normal format. So, again, a terrible tragedy. A second one that I heard of was Dick Tidrow, the former Yankee pitcher, Dirt, as he was known to his friends and teammates. What was your
thoughts on Dick Tidrow?
It was funny. I was talking to Louis Pica today about it, and I said, I remember Dick Tidrow. I remember to be a good pitcher.
He was like a middle reliever, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah. He started as a starter, and then he went to be a middle reliever. I think Bill Verdon, when he got traded to the Yankees, put him in the bullpen. And listen, the guy hung around for 13 years, from 72 to 84. His stats will not overwhelm you, but he was part of a really good Yankee bullpen in those mid 70 Yankees teams. He was on the 76 team that lost to the Reds, and on the 77 and 78 team that won the World Series. Left the Yankees to go to Toronto, come back to the Yankees on 79 for the rest of the year, then Cubs, White Sox, and his last year was with the Mets, although I don't think he pitched very much for the Mets in 84. But again, a good guy. For me,
I remember him being all that great of a relief pitcher. I actually remember he looked like he belonged on some ball league softball team.
Very true.
He was a little like everybody else was neatly done up and everything else. Looked like he just rolled out of bed and ran to the stadium.
Which is why his nickname was Dirt. I don't know if you ever knew that. His nickname was Dirt because his appearance was a little disheveled and had the 70s porn mustache working. And he did manage to win 100 baseball games in his career, 13 years.
And how many did he lose?
94.
So you're talking a 500 pitcher here, a little bit better than 500.
Yes.
A shade better.
Shade better.
Let's see. I didn't know he was involved in the Giants organization for as many years.
Yes, I did not know that till very recently. I for some reason his name came up and I Googled him, and he was a Giant executive for a long time, and right up to
23 years.
Yeah, and he was from that area. I think he was originally drafted by the Giants, didn't play for them, got drafted again by the Cleveland Indians. At age 25, he was his breakout into Major League Baseball, part of the Chris Chandler's trade to the Yankees, which was thought to be a horrendous trade for the Yankees, turned out to be a great trade for the Yankees. And again, sorry to see the man pass, 74 years old. It's a
shame to say that, a lot of these Yankee players from the 77, 78 teams, you think of how many of them are gone at this point in time.
Yeah.
Oscar Gamble, Bobby Mercer, Dick Tidrow, Paul Blair.
Yeah, good call.
I believe there's a couple more, right? Catfish Hunter.
Catfish is gone. You're 100% right there. There's a few, there's still a few left, but Munson's gone, obviously. That's I think Kenny Holtzman passed away, if I'm not mistaken. There's a few of those guys that are passed, but good call by Jeff. But there are still a few left, and but it was it's excellent. Anytime I think of guys that I grew up watching passing away, and Dick Tidrow was a guy that I would have thought he was 103 when I saw him pitch back in the day, Jeff, but obviously he was in his early 30s at that point. But again, just I thought we bring it up, pass it on. Now I don't want to get too much into the last one because it's going to be a while. But we'll mention it now because we're going to have a guest on in a minute or two. And I want to don't want to cut off the conversation. So, but Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff passed away, Jeff.
Yeah, man, that is a shame. For years I hated Paul Orndorff. Hated him because I just didn't like him.
Yeah, did you ever see the video of Paul Orndorff with the group of people in the gym? I don't know if I ever sent that to you.
If you did, I don't remember.
Oh, Jeff, Google Paul Orndorff gym after the show's over, and it is the funniest. He completely abuses these people. There's this one heavy woman, and he just flat out just abuses this woman. I'm telling you, Paul Orndorff gym, when it's over, and you just watch this guy dismantle people. You know what? Well, let's talk about real quick. Now, Matt, that's a tough question. Because look at Matt's question, Jeff.
I see Matt's question. Matt's question. It's easy to answer that question.
But it's too easy.
Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio.
See, now I'll argue the last one. That's subject to. Now, again, are you asking me all time? I would have to agree with Jeff. It's close. You could go Mantle. You could go Berra. The first two guys are easy. If I'm going the top three Yankees I've seen play, now that's a different one, and I'd like to do that one. I would go top three Yankees I've seen play.
But he says of all
I got
time.
it. I got it. Here, 100% right. The first one's too easy, Jeff, because the first two are easiest of all time. The third one, you can argue DiMaggio, Mantle, Berra, 10 World Series rings. I'm going to tell you the top three Yankees that I saw, because we like to do that better, right? I mean, I think that's the norm. I'm going to go Mattingly, Jeter.
Oh God, this list is pathetic.
Mattingly, Jeter, and then the third one is the tough one, but that's a good one, right? Mattingly, Jeter. Oh, Mariano Rivera. That's the top three Yankees that I ever saw play. What's wrong with that list?
Come on. They can't even fucking touch Gehrig, Ruth.
I didn't say it would be in my top three if I was picking all time.
This is why I wish Joey would call in.
Oh, please.
I wish Joey would call in because he with his disgust, he would bury you with disgust.
Listen. I prefaced it. I said if I was picking all time, Gehrig and Ruth are number 1 and 2. You can go either way for me. The third one, I'd go Mantle because I'm a huge Mickey Mantle fan. I understand that DiMaggio, that's a great pick. But I would prefer to have the conversation, top three Yankees that I ever watched. That is Mattingly, Jeter, and Mariano. Easy. I don't know what's so bad about that. I'd have to.
Mattingly was a subpar first baseman.
Oh, stop! Now you're being silly. Now you're getting that. That's it. Now you're being silly.
Look at this guy's fucking picks. Are you kidding me? Does this kid live outside in the fucking weather or something?
Jeter and Reggie.
Really?
Matt, get inside. Get in the air conditioning quick.
Yeah, really? What the fuck is
Reggie?
wrong?
First off, Reggie Jackson was a 5-year Yankee. I don't even carry him. I don't even count him as a Yankee. Reggie Jackson is an Oakland A. But if you put him in there,
Reggie Jackson made one of the greatest plays as a New York Yankee. I don't care what anybody says. When he stuck his hip out in the World Series, I will remember that to the day that I die. That was one of the greatest plays. And I'm not a baseball guy. One of the greatest guys I've ever seen.
Yeah, Patrick's list is good too. You can throw Munson in there. You can't go wrong with any of those guys. But I got to take a little umbrage with the Reggie because Reggie's only a 5-year Yankee. He wasn't even better than Winfield. And I wasn't a huge Winfield guy. Reggie, 5 years, doesn't belong to have his number retired, doesn't belong in Monument Park. And Reggie Jackson, even though his hat says New York Yankees in the Hall of Fame, it's because George Steinbrenner gave him $100,000 to put that hat on his head. Otherwise, Reggie Jackson should have went to the Hall of Fame as an Oakland A because that's where his great career was. He had great moments as a Yankee. Don't get me wrong.
He was in more World Series as a Yankee than he was in Oakland A.
No, the A's he went 3 years in a row.
No.
Yes, I believe yes. Oakland A's 72, 73, 74.
And he only won one though.
No, I think they won at least 2 of those if they didn't win all 3.
I don't know about that. You better look it up.
Now I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have no choice now. You're making me look up Reggie Jackson. Hold on. I don't
We'll look up World Series winners. Never mind Reggie Jackson.
I'm going to look up Reggie Jackson. He'll tell me if he won the World Series. Hold on.
Oh, God. Here we go. I got to get involved.
You got to get involved?
Yeah.
Let's see. Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson, 74. Am I right? Hold on. Now I got the other way. Hold on. World Series winners. This is what we get here, Jeff.
Okay, the Oakland A's went 72, 73, 74, like you said.
Just apologize that the kid was right. That's all.
Who?
I was right. I mean, I was wrong. You didn't win. No. Of
What
course
are you
they
talking about?
Yeah. I got the tape. I'll replay the tape. It's no problem.
Oh, okay. All right. I see what you're talking about.
What?
Well, it's about time that you got something fucking right.
You're shot. Reggie Jackson should have retired. Reggie Jackson is an Oakland A. He had an amazing career. I think he won at least a couple MVPs there. No doubt in my mind, Reggie Jackson's an Oakland A. As a Yankee, did he have some great moments? Absolutely, 100%. You know what he did in the World Series, helped the Yankees win. No doubt in my mind. Was great. But no way to opinion on Gibson. One of the greatest seasons I've ever seen. Unfortunately,
I'll argue that. I don't think he had the career to match that season, though.
No, again, he has last year. No, 85. I think he won 20 games again. But
he won 20 games twice.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, it's 78 and I think 80. I think 85. He won it again. He won 20 again. Gidgey was a really good pitcher. Should have been a great pitcher. Just a little too small and didn't have have amazing success on some really good Yankee teams. I mean, could never have matched 25-3 with the 1-something ERA. So, do I love Gidgey? Absolutely. I love Gator.
Who could match that?
Yeah. So I love Gidgey. Yeah. I mean, if you can go back in time and pick seasons to watch, players, Dwight Gooden in 85 was amazing. Gidgey in 78 was amazing. There are guys that I loved watching back then. Sparky Lyle, Cy Young winner in 77. You got to love Sparky. And if they don't get Goose Gossage, he may go on to a Hall of Fame career. But once Gossage came in, he was obsolete, and then he went on to I think the Red Sox and a couple other teams and never had the success. But Sparky, one of my favorite players.
Sparky Lyle lives by my mother.
Yes.
And father out in Old Bridge somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
My parents, well, at least my father tells me that he sees him. There's an Acme out there on Route 9.
I go to
sees him in Acme.
Really?
Yeah.
I am quite a bit in that Acme. I'll have to take a look for Sparky.
You go to that Acme?
Absolutely.
How close are you to my parents?
I'm 15 minutes.
So then why does it, when I go to your house, why do they tell me to take the fucking turnpike instead of the parkway?
Well, because we're on opposite sides. So if I was going to your parents' house, depends where I was coming from. If I was coming from from Staten Island, I would get on the Garden State because it's a little close. You get off and you're on 9. If you come from my house, you got to snake through and go through. It's like 20 minutes because I drive my wife to work. My wife works in Old Bridge at a hospital not far from your parents' house.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I drop my wife off and then I go to that Acme and I food shop and then I take it home, or I go to food shop and then go pick my wife up from work.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he's still involved with the Somerset Patriots, Patrick. So yeah, I've tried to reach out and find that guy. I'd love to have him on the show. I read his book, was amazing. He wrote an amazing book back in the day. So, but yeah, those guys, Gidgey, Sparky, great pitchers. Gotta love them. Great Yankee teams back in the day. Jeff and I are here hanging out on a Thursday night, fighting our way through the show. Lots to talk about. We'll talk about Conor McGregor. We'll talk about Reggie Bush. Hey, Jeff, real quick. Reggie Bush. It's annoying the piss out of me. So now we all know that, first off, Reggie Bush had his Heisman taken away from him a few years back because it was found out that while he was playing college ball, he was accepting money. And it took his Heisman away. Well, now, Jeff, that they've decided to let college players make money off their images and likenesses, which probably is rightfully so. Reggie Bush says, no, I should get my Heisman back because you're making it legal now. Jeff, here's what I say. You broke the rules when it was a rule. You can't now, because there is no rule, get your Heisman back. I think it's stupid, ridiculous. You broke a rule when it was a rule, Jeff, and you can't now get the Heisman back for it.
I don't know, Tom. You know why? Because in certain situations, maybe not with this particular thing, but in the past we have seen certain things overturned.
I'm not disagreeing.
So, it's a fine line. I mean, If you don't do it, are you right or wrong? I don't know. It's yeah, you're right. It's almost like the ball players with being caught with steroids. It wasn't illegal when you were doing it, but
Right.
you just knew that it was morally wrong.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So the same thing with Reggie Bush. All right, so you were making money off your likeness, and it was wrong at the time, but now 10, 15 years later, after you're all said and done, now it happens that you could do it. Now he wants his Heisman back. You know what? I don't think anybody really gives a flying fuck about the Heisman. Give him the Heisman Trophy to see where it's not in storage. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, here you go. Nobody
I
gives a
disagree.
shit about it anymore.
I
Anyway.
disagree, Jeff. I think, listen, you listen, if you're convicted of a crime today and they change the law tomorrow, you don't get out of jail because they changed the law. You know, it doesn't work that way. And for me, Reggie Bush broke the rules. You now 10 years later, whatever it is, I think it's 14 years later, you don't go and turn around and say, oh, Reggie Bush, you broke the rules 14 years ago, but we changed the rules now. So what would have been what was a problem then would not be a problem now for you. Sorry, it doesn't work that way, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with you.
Well, listen, man, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I understand the point you're coming from. I mean, to me, does it really matter if he gets the Heisman back? No, I don't.
I got it for you because
he's irrelevant at this point in time.
I agree with you, but you should not be rewarded. He should not be able to say Reggie Bush, Heisman Trophy winner. Listen, Reggie Bush was a great player back then, but you broke the rule and you got caught. So to me, you lose the trophy. That's how it goes. To me, I don't know how else to do it. So otherwise, we have anarchy, cats and dogs living together. It's just insanity. We can't have it, Jeff.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So, but we guess our guest is up right now, and we'll spend a couple minutes with him right now. But again, guys, remember next week, Bobby Gustafson, guitar player, ex-Overkill. What's some other bands that Bobby was in, Jeff?
Eye for an Eye, Psycho Sluts from Hell, Satan's Taint.
Yes, Satan's Taint, one of our favorites.
What was another one too? Wasn't there? Shit.
I don't know.
Around the same time as Satan's Taint, he was bouncing around from Satan's Taint. He was doing something else, man.
He's in Violence now. The guys that go down the road. A lot of people consider Bobby the godfather of thrash. I'm sure that maybe some of the guys at Overkill wouldn't agree. By the way, Dee Dee Verney's got a band out there. Dee Dee Verney and the something Cadillac.
The Cadillacs, yes.
The Cadillac band. I haven't seen. I have to catch that one. Jeff, Iron Maiden's got a new song out there. I don't know if you heard the single today. I got to listen to it.
No, I didn't hear the single, but I'll tell you, you're jumping a little bit too much. We got to ask Bobby Gustafson next week what it is that he thinks of this new Dee Dee Verney. I'm sure he hasn't listened to it.
I'm sure he has.
But have you listened to it?
I have not. I brought it up.
You have to listen to it. It sounds just like a Brian Setzer song.
Really?
Yes. It's all big band stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Surprising for you?
Yes, without a doubt. Because the other stuff that I heard Dee Dee do when he was in the Bronx Casket Company was more gothic metal. So this is definitely a big change. I never knew that he was into this stuff. I'm sure it's just a one-off thing. I don't see this whatever, because when he's actually doing this, he still looks like he's playing bass. So we'll watch an Overkill video and then watch this video, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're the bass player from Overkill. Stay there. You know what I mean?
Stay in your lane.
Stay as the bass player from Overkill.
Stay in your lane. Again, so Bobby's going to join us next week. The week after we're off, and of course we come back to the big NFL training camp show August the 5th, joined by our good friends Sean and Dave and Alex from the Barstools and Band Talk show. Great guys, great show, and looking forward to it. I gotta get that verbiage down right. But anyway, Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom here on a Thursday night, having some fun. We got a lot more to get to. Again, Conor McGregor. We'll get a little more into Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful passing away. We got more sports. I got the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. We're going to get to some Super Bowl odds. We got a lot to get to tonight, so we'll get to that. But first off, we got a guest. His name is Darren Michael Boyd. He's my second time he's been with us. He's currently got out a new single. Let's get that up. I watched it. And what is it? Where is it? Spider Jewel. And we'll talk to Darren for a minute or two and see what he's up to. Hey, Darren.
Hey, how's it going?
We're good, sir. Darren, how you been, man? It's been a while since we talked.
I know it seems like yesterday, really. It doesn't seem like that that long, but I think it's been over a year now.
It has been.
Yeah.
You were one of the first guests we had on video back in when we started this current format of the show.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were one of the let's use guinea pigs, if I can use a phrase.
As usual. That's
Not
Just what you want to tell just what you want to tell the guy.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm used to that. That's
listen. It's we had an experiment with somebody, Darren, so it might as well have been you, right? That's
sure.
the way I look
That's
at it.
Do you throw the Canadian in there?
There you go. And then our Barstool and Man Talk friends are all from Nova Scotia. They'll be joining us. Great show. So, but Darren, so listen.
He has taken everything you're throwing at him kind of well and politely. Figured he's Canadian, right?
That's it. Yeah, Canadian. We'll say we're sorry, right? That's
yeah. Good. I can see that, man.
Hey, Darren, let me ask you a quick question. I don't know if you're a fan of the band, but I got to bring it up because I was on a show last night for our good friends at RFO Records. And again, the guys from Barstools and Band Talk are part of that crowd. And we were discussing kind of Rush's little brother in Triumph.
Oh, yeah.
It was Rick Emmett's birthday a couple days ago.
Okay,
and Jeff and I got to interview Rick last year. And I kind of was giddy like a schoolgirl because I grew up a huge Rick Emmett fan.
Oh, yeah.
Were you a fan of the band?
Oh, yeah. I still listen to Allied Forces,
great.
Magic Power, and it's just like brilliant. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Rush, and it can never be overtaken by many others, but Triumph for me was pretty close. I just, the mix of the progressive with the hard edge stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And still had big radio hits.
Oh, absolutely. Magic Power was a huge hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's something to be Canadian, do this progressive kind of weird stuff and have big hits. That's odd.
Jeff, their documentary. They actually have a Triumph documentary. I just reached out to the publisher to get them on the show.
Just read someplace where they're talking about making a comeback of some kind. I believe. I can't remember where I saw it.
Well, I've read that same thing, and the problem is the drummer. What was the drummer's name? Mike
Gill, I think.
Yeah, something.
Gilmore.
And he's the one kind of holdout, but they're all kind of like, if we're going to do it, we want to do it big. We don't want to just do, go into a small little club setting. They want to go out there, big show.
Oh, sure,
so they said the money has to be right to be able to get out and do a big show. I would love it, but the documentary's coming, guys. So if you're a Triumph fan, make sure you check it out. But let's talk about being a fan of Darren Michael Boyd. And Darren, I listened to Spider Jewel. I know it's currently out, and great song. I believe you also won an award. Did you win an award for that video? No, for the other one, right? You won an award recently.
Yeah, that was a few videos back. Arachno Chakra. That's off of this album. Like it is product placement, right?
There you go.
Wonders of the Invisible World. That album was my second album. Spider Jewel's not on that one. That's going on the third one for the fall.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a video award. I did a video for Spider Jewel, but it was like the height of laziness. It's me and some animals in my backyard.
I saw the snakes and
it's just some fun stuff, And
yeah, it's funny when you watch the video. You're trying to concentrate on the music, but then all of a sudden, like you're holding the snake. You're kind of in different settings, different guitars, and I'm trying to concentrate on you. But then I'm listening to music. It's good stuff. I gotta ask a question though. How do you come up with the names of the songs? Like,
well, man, that one is that's a tricky one because not all of them. I mean, they're all different inspirations and that. But this particular song, I've been trying. I've done several interviews where I've said to people, if you can, send me go on my Instagram and comment on my last post and tell me if you can figure out what the meaning behind Spider Jewel, who the inspiration is. And it's not that hard. You just Google it. You'll probably figure it out. I'll send you a really cool package of stuff for free, but it's just been impossible. People are trying too hard.
I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, but for even for yourself, like I understand, like when somebody writes a song and then the chorus is, I don't know, I'm just "In and Out of Love" by Bon Jovi. You know,
Right.
that's the chorus. So there's the title of the song. When you're writing instrumentals like you predominantly do, how hard is it to come up with it? Or does it almost matter what the name of the song is?
Well, yeah, I mean, it does to me. So because I think you're setting up a visual, like you're setting it up. What does it mean? It could be, picking daisies would have a whole different, meaning if it's a metal song, right?
Yeah,
so you want to kind of have something. And Spider Jewel, I guess because I have some sort of idea behind it, but I mean, what's a good way? I'm just sort of looking at my songs here from some of that's the best way to do it, right? But there's a song called "The Law of Three" on my on Wonders of the Invisible World, and I just happened to think it was funny because the song is in like 3/4 time, and it's also kind of a Wiccan thing, and I just thought it was kind of, so I have these ideas that I think are hysterical or meaningful in my mind.
Right.
But I'm also a lyricist. I've written songs my whole life with lyrics, so it's not new to me.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's somewhat important for sure.
Yeah. Now, well, let me ask you the question. So, when you're getting an inspiration for the song, is it the melody and then you put a title to it, or is it the song and then you write something that fits the title of the name of the song for yourself?
It can
I'm
be
always fascinated.
Yeah, it could be both, really.
Okay.
Like sometimes you could be writing a song and the melody, like let's say the lead melody, if you listen close, Paul Gilbert's a great one. If you listen to his latest album, it's hilarious. He has an instrumental that most of the album, as far as I know, is instrumental. And if you go and you look at, he's got a song, what is it called? Argument About Pie or something like that. And he actually has a video, and it's all instrumental, but there are lyrics to the whole song. And,
oh, really?
And it goes like the bouncing ball. So you could actually know that there are lyrics because it matches to what he's playing with the slide guitar. So it's really quite cool.
Question. So in your head, when you're writing the music, is there more than just a melody? Is there a lyric that you're just not putting on paper in your songwriting?
Yeah, sometimes. And then other times, to be totally honest, I just have the same as on my phone, I have like little voice memos of things I come up with. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Better, because how many times have I forgotten things? And, it's one of the great things about technology, I guess, is you can, instead of just something lost in the air, you can put it down. And I do the same thing when I come up with an idea for what might be a title or a lyric or something. I'm like, better get that down before I forget. Yeah. And sometimes it's already there. It's already the title's already there before the song comes along, and I go, that's perfect.
Okay. So how has the last year affected you? In fact, your writing, your performing. Obviously, you can't play out and play shows.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
But I've talked to some people said, while I was stuck, and that's obviously a bad situation, it's forced them to be more creative, find different avenues to be creative. How has the COVID affected you positively or negatively or both?
Well, yeah, of course.
As a musician,
it has been both, really. And even talking as a musician, even as a person, the things that affect you affect your creative side and your music and everything. So I've been productive. There's no question. I've done countless music videos, and I've been writing and releasing music. So there's been that, but no shows, and it sort of sucks to have this momentum, kind of like the award for music video and that kind of thing, and yet not really be able to get out and the CD that I was talking about. I mean, a CD. People, if people were watching me right now and go, I want to hear this song, they don't care about a CD. Probably they're going to go and find it on YouTube or Spotify or something, which is fine. But yet these would sell at a show because it's merchandise, right? It's all kind of a pretty package, and
Right.
people want the merchandise. But it's hard to sell anything when you're not playing.
Yeah.
But hopefully, hey, you know what? Hopefully that'll be changing soon.
Yeah. How is the restrictions here in the U.S.? We've 90. I would say most things. Jeff, would you say 99% of things are back to semi-normal?
Semi, yeah, but you know what? I'm actually playing next week, and we're playing. We're going on at 10, and we have to be over by 11:45. And the Delta variant is coming to get us now. So who knows if there's even going to be a next week?
Yeah,
because now every day they talk about it more and more and more because they didn't get their set. I don't know what the vaccination rate is up there where you guys are, but down here they wanted 70% because they didn't get it. Now all of a sudden the Delta variant could go after kids. It's awfully strange. It's targeting kids and young people.
Yeah,
like wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The first time around, the coronavirus didn't go after kids or young people. Now it's going after all the kids and young people. So we got to get them fucking vaccination numbers up.
Yeah.
How is it? How has it been? Is it still real regulated on your side of the fence?
Pretty regulated. We just started kind of opening up again more things. Like up until the beginning of this month, we were pretty closed up. So now it's starting that now you can go to restaurants and go to stores and things again. I just had my second vaccination today, actually. So, yeah. So I'm like, oh.
God, I hope you don't get. Listen, I hope you didn't get offended by anything I said. I feel as though that when it comes to the vaccine, you got to do what you feel as though makes safer for you. If you believe the vaccine works for you, then by all means you got to take it. That's your call. We don't. Me and Tommy have we don't believe in the vaccine here. That's another story. But I just don't like the way that they seem that they're pushing it on us down here. I don't know if they try to push it on you guys up there like they do down here on us.
No, it hasn't really been. I don't know. I've never felt any real pressure either way, other than just the desire to get shit back to normal. Like that's the goal.
I think we all that's what we all want. And again, I think the way I look at it is, Darren, if Jeff wanted to get the vaccine, he should get it. And if I don't, then he's protected. Why do I have to get it if he doesn't? Now again, everybody should do his best for them. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people affected by it, people in regular 9-to-5 jobs and musicians and other artists. I mean, out here, we're just getting back to concerts being announced and Broadway opening up. So let's hope that it continues and we don't have any more of the Delta variants and all the other crap. But, with being locked up and not being able to play shows, a lot of the musicians, guys like Lou DiBello and guys that I deal with on the show, they've all gone into live streaming their stuff, getting out there and playing concerts, so to speak. Has that been something you've touched on doing? Is it, I asked the question, can you get yourself psyched up for a show where you kind of got no feedback?
Oh yeah, I know. And in fact, my business, like you guys saw the video, right? And I have snakes and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, my business is called Reptile Rainforest, and I do shows for schools and birthday parties and that kind of thing. And so over the past 17 months or whatever the hell it's been, I haven't been able to do that. But I have had a few Zoom shows. So how weird that is to talk about animals. And, when I've been doing this for like over 2 decades, where the kids with their hands up and that's been very strange. And, music, same thing. I haven't really been doing streaming shows, mainly because I play with bands, but mostly I'm just, this stuff is all instrumental. So it's just me playing guitar. So I did 1 or 2 things like that, but most of it is pre-recorded, like music videos. And,
right.
Yeah. But it's,
When you do play in bands and you want to play out, what's your preference? When you're playing in, let's say, a cover band, what would be your preference to play? What style of music?
Oh, like I play in a cover band sometimes where it's all classic rock, basically, which is funny because I've played that stuff for so long that the definition I don't know if the definition, but definitely the songs have evolved. Like stuff that used to be shit that I grew up with, like
Yeah.
Twisted Sister, is now classic rock.
Classic
and
rock, yes.
You play it in the set, and it's like, wow. So it's not just Proud Mary anymore. You know, it's like
Yes, the definition of classic rock has definitely widened to our Jeff and I are mid-50s, and it's definitely widened to that generation where I go, that wasn't classic rock when I grew up.
No,
it's weird.
Shit.
Right?
Some of this shit wasn't classic rock last week.
No.
Yeah,
but it's cool now because I can say that. I can be like, yeah, I want to put. Well, I mean, I guess you could have put Alice Cooper in a set a long time ago, but now you can really justify it. You know, I'm going to play.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Ty. I got to ask a question to both of you, but more so Darren. Darren, if classic rock is your thing, right, and you're able to play it more now, and you too, Tom. Do you look back and when you thought classic rock, you'd be like, okay, this was the Who and the Stones, and a couple bands like that we used to listen to on the classic rock stations here, and now all of a sudden, as a musician, do you feel as though that your ability has broadened because now they broaden classic rock, and you'd be like, I could play classic rock too. 15 years ago, I couldn't play classic rock because I was playing thrash and heavy metal bass lines. Yeah. Now, like you say, it's classic rock. So it's now I'm a classic rock bass player too, because now it's classified as classic rock. You know what I mean?
See what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So you could be playing Anthrax.
Yes.
And it's classic rock. Yeah.
Yes.
In some circles now, at this point in time,
Yeah, the broadening of classic rock is like you said, that it used to be Proud Mary and CCR and some bands like that, and now it's Van Halen and
And of course, when I say that, like, I mean, I play
my scope of playing.
Yeah, and when I say that, it's not necessarily like this is what I want to play. It's just that when I go out and do a cover gig, that is what you play. You know,
exactly. That's what people want to hear.
Standards. Yeah. It's like if I want to play more obscure stuff, I'll do it at home because I'm not going to get paid to. Although I'll tell you a really funny story, just to go back when I was a kid. We weren't even finished at high school, and my band started touring. So we were touring across Canada, and we had no idea. We were playing 6 nights a week, and we didn't realize that we were really supposed to play mostly cover songs. We thought we were Poison, right? We didn't know any better. We were just like big stage and ramps and stuff. And we were playing at least 60% original music. And the weird thing is, because we were also clueless kids, basically, we were playing all of the, if we played a Poison song, let's say, we didn't play Talk Dirty to Me, the hit. Right. We played something obscure that nobody knew. Like, so most people thought the whole night was ours. they thought we were playing all originals.
Yeah.
But somehow we managed to survive it, you know, sheer entertainment, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah, we got... We're lucky.
Yes. Again, Jeff and Tom talking with Darren Michael Boyd. He's here talking about his new release, Spider Jewel. Guys got some amazing material. If you get some time, I'm going to have him give me out some websites and social media platforms. It's definitely worth the close the show tonight with Darren's new video. We'll close it up with Spider Jewel so you guys can see it. I'm sure you can. I found it on YouTube. As well as some places that Darren has it. So make sure you check him out and support because it's great stuff, and he's actually a great guy as well. So we need to support the musicians. Again, guys, here on Thursday night, Jeff and Tom having some fun. We got a lot to get to still tonight, so hang around. We're going to finish up with Darren in a minute or two and get back to some sports. And I want to talk a little about Kiss, Jeff. I got some Kiss stuff for you tonight. Watch a documentary, so I want to talk a little about my younger years and my Kiss fandom. But so Darren, what's new? I know you got the full album out in the fall, the new video and single out now. What's the next couple of weeks and months look like?
Just going to be actually getting my butt in gear because I started to go, I got lots of time, and then it's like, oh shit. I keep telling people, I keep saying, oh, this album's going to be out, and it's like, oh, I better actually finish it. So that's going to be my my focus for sure. And Kiss, I could come back. We could have a whole Kiss episode, and you can have me as like Kiss. Kiss changed my life, man.
Oh, how was that? Give me a little something on Kiss. I grew up. First time I saw Kiss was 1975 on the Paul Lynde Halloween special. Changed my life.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm not far off from that. The first time, it was probably that year. I don't know how old I was. I got my first Kiss record and my first Alice Cooper record at the same time. So I got Kiss Destroyer and Alice Cooper Love It to Death. And then I got Kiss Alive very soon after. And so, I mean, they were all my superheroes, right? I had pictures on the wall, and I'm just a little kid, but I listened to those records. And it was funny because I didn't know what sounds were coming from who, but it was in my mind, looking at the pictures. And then Paul Lynde, I remember being like a little kid in my onesie or whatever, and I saw that commercial that Kiss were coming up. And I begged my parents to let me stay up to watch it. And now they were playing hardball. They were like, no, you have to go to bed. And I'm like, and so they were like, okay, you can stay up. And yeah, it changed my life watching that elevator thing shaft come down with Gene Simmons and
I vaguely remembered as a kid, because I remember I was about 8 years old. I was born in 1967, so I was about 8, probably right after my 8th birthday. And I wasn't a Kiss fan, and I don't know why I was up and why I saw it, but I remember saying it, oh my God, I can't even believe what I just saw. And it was about 10 years ago, my wife bought me this just amazing box set from Kiss. And it had all the albums and a ton of videos, concert videos. And one of the videos was the Paul Lynde Halloween special. And I got to watch it again after, close to 40 years and close to 50 years, I should say. And amazing to watch. It was amazing. So, Kiss, being a Kiss fan, I saw my first Kiss show in 1979. I saw the Dynasty Tour, which was a little disappointing because it wasn't the costumes weren't as cool as the originals, but it was
different. Yeah.
Yes, but then
it's cool now though, like to look back at it.
Oh, absolutely, sure, yeah. The one thing was cool was Gene's bass. Was the Axe bass he brought out?
Oh, that's when he started using it.
That's when he started using the Axe bass. So that was cool. And then Jeff and I saw Kiss about 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 19 on the start of their again, quote unquote, final tour. We'll see if that's that night. And they were great. I don't care if there was backing tracks on the vocals. I could care less. It was Kiss. They sounded great. It was a lot of fun. And I'll hopefully go to one of the last shows next year when they come through New York on their final try.
Well, I was going to ask you that. What do you think? Do you think that this is going to resume? Or do you think it'll be a full 2 years?
Oh no, they're practicing already. No, they've already announced shows for this year. Yeah, they're going to listen. There's money to be made. Gene's coming back. There's no doubt.
Yeah, well, it's just like I'm going.
You're not going to stop them, man.
Yeah, I'm going. These are not young men. They're not.
No, they're in their 70s. They're in their 70s or close to 70, and Gene doesn't look like the healthiest guy in the whole world, right? Did you see the documentary? They just did a big documentary here. I think it was A&E did it
with Gene.
Gene and Paul.
70-year-old demon. That one.
Yes. No. There's an A&E documentary. It was a TV thing, 2 nights, and they did like a whole. It was a wrestling one done. They did 8 parts, and then they followed that up with a Kiss documentary on. A&E's I don't know if you get it up in your neck of the woods. It's a channel, Entertainment Network, and they did a 2-night Kiss documentary. I'm sure if you go on demand or YouTube, you'll find it. And if you're a Kiss fan, worth seeing. They talk about the whole Gene and Ace Paul thing and the reunion tours and all that. So it was a blast. But yeah, they're already practicing. They've already announced some of the new shows. I'm looking forward to seeing them on the road one more time.
Yeah. If they come this way, I will go for sure.
I guarantee you, if there's $1 to be made in your neck of the woods, you'll see the boys up there. There's no doubt, Darren. But listen, give everybody some websites and social media platforms. We'd love to make sure people are following you what you're doing.
Okay, so the first thing I would tell you is DarrenBoyd.com is the best place to find everything, because if you go to DarrenBoyd.com, you can Sign up for my mailing list if you want. I promise I won't spam you. I'm pretty lazy about that, but I do like to give away stuff sometimes. But you can also find me on Instagram. I have a Facebook group that's pretty active, actually, called Darren Michael Boyd's Little Toads. And of course, YouTube is a great place to find me too. Tons of videos, all kinds of ridiculous nonsense. It's a lot of irresponsible fun. So
good for you. Listen, Darren, I appreciate you hitting me up. You're welcome anytime. Anytime you want to just pop in and join us on a Thursday night, talk about Kiss or Triumph or what you're doing. You're welcome here anytime. Just don't bring any snakes. One thing I don't like is reptiles. I'm sorry, Darren. The only snake in my life is Jeff. That's it.
I don't like spiders, so go figure.
Go figure. With that, you're welcome here anytime. And we love the music. I'm going to close the show with it. And again, keep in touch, my friend. And anything you need from the Hard Rock and Sports Show, you got it. Much success and stay in touch. Come back anytime.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Take care, Darren Boyd. Everybody, take a look and check him out. He's great. Great stuff. Awesome. Take care, Darren.
Thanks. Bye.
You got it. So that's Darren Michael Boyd. He was a great guest, and he reached out to me. Jeff wanted to come on the show.
Well, he definitely seems like a nice guy. I vaguely remember him last time, but he's almost nice to a fault.
Yes,
he's just a nice guy. He just seems like a nice guy. But he was some fun too, man, without a doubt.
You can't be too nice a guy and be on the Hard Rock and Sports Show, Jeff. It just don't work.
No, listen, they come in one way, leave another.
That's where
I'm getting messages from you with the horror of thinking of this.
Couldn't help myself, Jeff. Couldn't help myself.
Well, listen, send this text to your wife.
There's a fungus among us, Jeff. I can tell you right now. I came home. I literally walked about 5 miles today in full jeans, work boots.
Oh,
I got fungus from the waist down. It's just from every crevice and crack.
I got a Fitbit for my birthday.
I saw it.
You did?
I did. We went to dinner. You were displaying your Fitbit.
Yeah.
Yes, Friday night you were displaying. You were displaying a Fitbit.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta refresh it, I guess, because my Bluetooth is shut off for whatever reason. But it gives me some phenomenal information, which I don't know how accurate it could be. According to this, I'm walking like over 20,000 steps. Over 10,000 steps a day, and most of it is spent laying down the last couple of days. So I don't know how accurate it is.
Well, the one negative I would tell you is it counts your steps when you're driving your car. So if you're doing any driving, it's counting it as steps.
Really?
Not every step, but yes. Because I've left work and said, I got 9 miles. And I get home, it says, you just did 9.7 miles. I'm like, I didn't walk anymore from work. And I realized that in the car, it's not counting it step for step, but it's giving you credit for driving in your car. So,
wow. Well,
maybe getting credit for laying on the couch next to Basil.
Oh, it did say that I did 12 floors today. I know I didn't. Well, I might have. I went up and down the basement a couple times.
All right. Well, again, Jeff, we're having some fun. We got a lot to get to. I want you to go into the Conor. You wanted to talk about Conor McGregor, so I'm going to give you the floor.
Yes, I did. As we all know, Conor McGregor broke his leg in his last match at the end of the first round, or however UFC works. Whatever, not important. Who gives a fuck, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so he comes on. I guess yesterday he announced that UFC knew that he had a broken leg, and they let him fight anyway.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the thing: if UFC knew that he had a broken leg, then that means that Conor McGregor knew that he had a broken leg. So not only did
he said he did, he said he did,
So not only did UFC say that you could fight, Conor McGregor went ahead and fought.
Correct.
Knowing that he had a broken leg.
Correct.
Now, how could you blame UFC for allowing that to happen?
You can't.
When you yourself knew that you had the broken leg, but yet said that you were going to go on and fight anyway.
Yeah.
I don't get that. If I knew that I had a broken leg or fractures in my leg, the last thing I'm going to do is just go into a UFC fight and take a chance of somebody else putting me into some kind of leg lock or whatever and breaking my fucking leg.
You would think.
I would know. In my case, I can only speak for myself.
True.
Okay. If I had a hangnail, I would find a reason to postpone the fight. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is just go up against somebody and get my leg fucked up even more. I just don't understand that at all.
Agreed.
And I read the article. I didn't see no interviews with him or anything of that nature.
Yep.
But the way that the article read to me, it was almost like, he said he almost backed out and everything else. But it was like, was he being pressured by UFC to fight anyway?
Interesting.
Or whatever. But, if you knew that you were injured, why would you continue to go forth?
Right.
That's my thing.
I guess for the money. I guess if he backs out, he doesn't get paid. So maybe, maybe.
Yeah, but now you ended up fucking yourself up. Maybe you cost yourself even more money now. Who says that you're going to heal the right way?
Yeah, maybe you're 100% right. And listen, I didn't watch it. I saw I saw a photo of his foot and how it broke, and I went, oh my God, I almost threw up. I mean, it's disgusting. So, I don't know, but
these injuries, these horrific fucking injuries, man. Oh, yeah, I can't watch them.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know how you come. I don't know how you come back from that as an athlete, especially in a sport like that where you're kicking and guys are laying on top of each other and they're putting pressure points. I mean, can you ever wrestle with an injury if coming back from it? Can you ever fight with an injury like that coming back from that injury?
He said that he had a metal or titanium rod put in his leg from his knee to his ankle. And that and somebody else in UFC had the same operation and was able to come back a year later and go into it and fight and grapple again. Meanwhile, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I'd be afraid to kick a soccer ball.
Exactly. So I don't watch UFC. I thought McGregor was a great fighter or something in UFC, and he seems to lose every time I turn it on now. I mean, now he's turning into a bit of a joke.
What is he, like 33 years old too?
So I think he's a big name. He's got the attitude. I like his whiskey. It's not too bad. Proper 12 is a pretty good whiskey, so I'll give him that much. But again, I don't watch. I haven't watched boxing very much, and I certainly don't watch any UFC. It doesn't, for some reason, I find it to be barbaric. I have to be honest with you. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, but I watch it, and it's just guys just pummeling each other and choking each other and all this.
That's not what gets me with it. That's not what gets me with it. You know what gets me with it? When you have a boxing match, okay, you have boxers. They make their way through the ranks and everything else. And maybe a guy is boxing for a number of years, and you heard about him when he was fighting in on the VFW hall on a Friday night, at 10 o'clock at night, and like he's making his way up through the ranks and everything else. Okay, UFC guys, they win 2 or 3 fights in a row, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, they're the big name, and they're going for a championship, and then all of a sudden they fight 3-4 times a year, it seems. Meanwhile, boxers can only fight once, maybe twice a year. That's one thing. Okay. And these guys, you're right, they're pounding the fuck out of one another. But what do I care? This is for my entertainment. I don't care what they're doing to each other.
Sure.
But they have one loss. That's it. They're done.
Yeah.
We're in boxing. Okay. So you ended up catching a beating. You come back 6-7 months later. You go at it again. You announce a fight. And you go back out again. And maybe you win another 10 in a row and you're back up at the top of your game. But these guys here, some of these guys, when they're like, all of a sudden they're 3-1 and they're going after a championship. Next thing you know, they're 4-9 and like, no, it's not important. Now he's an undercard guy.
Yeah.
So these guys, their shelf life is like less than that of a gallon of milk. You know what I mean? I'm dead serious, man. They don't have long. They don't have long. A guy like McGregor, probably just making it by at this point. No, if you hear me, Connor, don't get all pissed off, but probably making more money off his name than his ability at this point in time.
Yeah, I think he's more exactly right, Jeff. I think he's more of a name right now than he actually is a good fighter. I think a lot of people, including myself, I mean, I recognize him only more so for his name than I do anything else.
Is what it is. I mean, what was it? A little more than a year ago, he was bugging out. That's not right.
That's for your birthday, Jeff.
That's not right. She didn't even give me one. What was it?
A little tequila.
Oh, that's all right. Keep that shit.
Hey, Jeff.
My wife's
Hi, Edie.
How'd you know I was involved?
Yeah, so But Jeff, let's run through. We got a bunch of stuff to run through that I want to make sure gets on the air tonight. You want to do Mr. Wonderful first? You want to
let's finish it up. We need to finish this up, man.
Yeah. So again, you started. I'll let you talk because you were talking about how you disliked Paul Orndorff, and I tell you what, if I physically hated a wrestler, he must have been doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? Because there were some guys, and Paul Orndorff was one of those guys I despised growing up as a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You watched a wrestling match with Paul Orndorff, and once that guy was down, he stayed on top of him, wouldn't let him get up, looked as though he was kicking the shit out of him. I remember one match specifically, he was fighting Rudy Diamond. And Rudy Diamond was one of these guys that was coming up a little bit. And like all of a sudden he's fighting Paul Orndorff, and you're like, this guy's career is over. He weighs about 180 pounds. Paul Orndorff is like 240, 250, and he's going to kill him. And that's exactly what happened. I think Rudy Diamond is still dribbling out the side of his mouth. He got such a beating that night. And Paul Orndorff was just pounding the shit out of him. Like, it was unbelievable what kind of beating he was giving him. And like every time that Rudy Diamond remotely looked like he was going to get up, Paul Orndorff was on him like white on rice. And at the time, still believing like, is it real or is it not? Know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're 100% right. If you hated the bad guy, he was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. Yeah. But I didn't think of it that way back then.
No, absolutely not. Let me ask you a question. Who is the one wrestler, not because of he was terrible, who's the one wrestler you just hated? You just wanted to see him lose. Like, it didn't matter how good he was. You just hated his guts.
Oh, man. What was his name? He was on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
He was a bad guy. He was a fat guy with blonde hair. Not Playboy Buddy Rose, was it?
Playboy Buddy Rose?
Did you know which one it was?
Not Hammer Valentine, was it?
No, not Greg the Hammer Valentine. He had kind of like a Dutch boy haircut. He used to not Ray the Crippler Stevens. Sometimes he used to tag with Ray the Crippler Stevens. I think it was Playboy Buddy Rose. I can't remember.
I remember Playboy Buddy Rose. I don't remember having the haircut that way, but I remember Playboy.
Well, I may be thinking of the wrong name, but he was a fat, bulbous, blonde-haired guy.
Okay.
I'm going to send you the name inbox. I don't want to say the name out loud.
Okay.
But this is who he looked like to me a little bit.
Okay, I'm creeping over there. Hold on a second. Let me get up to the other screen. I got two screens working. Oh, yeah. I got you. Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, I hated him when he came up because he was fat. He was like a crybaby. It was like, oh, come on, this fucking guy. And he used to win more often than not. I hated him. I hated him for it.
Now, it's funny to me, Orndorff is at the top, right there. I'll tell you the guy, Morocco, I hated Don Morocco for some reason.
All of the bad guys I hated. Don Morocco, Rick Rude.
One guy I hated, and he wasn't even really a bad guy, was Adrian Adonis. I physically couldn't watch Adrian Adonis fight about.
Adrian Adonis was a bad guy.
But he just was tough to look at.
Yeah, he was fat. He was bulbous. He was adorable Adrian Adonis.
Yeah, with the makeup and the crazy. Oh, it was the worst. Oh, my God.
I think isn't he dead too?
Yes, yeah, we talked about this, I think, a few weeks ago.
In an accident or something, right?
Like 1988, he was dead in a car accident. Which I was still in the middle of watching wrestling at the time. I wonder if back then they hid that stuff because obviously there was no internet service. I don't remember that ever being announced on any of the wrestling shows that Adrian Adonis had died.
Well, it had to be announced someplace because I knew about it. I remember when it was. I don't remember it was 1988, but I remember it happened. I remember when it happened.
I didn't remember it, but Paul Orndorff. First off, I didn't know Paul Orndorff was a really good football player. Did you know that he got drafted by your second favorite team, the New Orleans Saints?
No, I did not.
Yes, 1973. He was drafted as a fullback, possibly playing tight end, but he quit during training camp. Personal problems. He went to go be a wrestler. One of his teammates was a former wrestler as well. And then after attending the training camp for the Chicago Bears in '74. Orndorff joined the Jacksonville Express of the World Football League, but he was injured. So Paul Orndorff was quite the athlete, obviously.
Well, he was built like an athlete.
Now, here's a guy who was featured, I think, in the first two. He was involved in the first two WrestleManias, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was. At least the first one, yeah.
right? And then I think the second one at some point now, he had a run with Hogan where he challenged Hogan for a while. But I know for sure the first one he was involved in the match with Mr. T, right? Wasn't it Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff?
Yeah, with Cowboy Bob Orton
right.
as the special enforcer or whatever the fuck it was.
Yes. And then I think WrestleMania 2, he was there as well. I'm not sure involved because I think WrestleMania 2 wasn't that the boxing match. One of the big matches was the boxing match between Mr. T and Roddy Piper. They were still going at it.
Yeah. Yes.
So, but Orndorff was a big fixture, and I'm telling you, when you get a chance, watch the video. But there was a guy. The funny part of it was this: about 5 years ago, I searched for some reason looking for Paul Orndorff, and his picture came up. And Jeff, it struck me how old he was, and I'm saying to myself, it really made me think, holy cow, these guys were in their 20s and 30s. They're now in their 70s.
Yeah,
look at these guys. He didn't even look like Paul Orndorff. And then we showed the video a couple weeks ago. He had dementia now, and he was in a hospital. He must have weighed 140, 50 pounds. And I went, holy cow, look at this guy. Doesn't even resemble the guy I watched wrestle in 1980s.
No, he does not.
And it was sad to watch. But, thank God our generation has, my father's generation, there isn't a lot of videos and video, stuff to watch. We can go back and watch all these things that we grew up on and remember these guys that way. You know what I mean?
Of course. And every once in a while, when you do look up one of their matches, you look up one of the all-time wrestlers, you end up getting them when they were a match that you actually watched that you saw.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. Yeah. And some of them, the abuse that some of them took and that they put themselves through used to be great.
Yep.
Not all the times, but sometimes. So you would see them do certain things and you'd be like, wow, how the fuck did this guy do that? But they did it.
Yeah. Do you know that he was trained by Bob Backlund?
Paul Orndorff? No, I did not.
Did not know that myself. Debuted in 1976. Backlund was already champ at the time. But again, Paul Orndorff, I would say, would have to be, for me, a minimum top 10 character of the 1980s wrestling.
I would say, yeah. He was one of the few guys that wrestled under a name and not like a nickname.
Correct.
Too.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan, even Hulk Hogan was a nickname.
Sure.
But Paul Orndorff, you had no reason to believe that his name wasn't.
And his real name was Paul Orndorff. That's his real name.
But he was Mr. Wonderful. But
correct. But that was a nickname. But he was Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, and that was one of the few guys that actually used his real name to wrestle and never changed it.
He looked like somebody's angry dad.
Yes.
That why do I gotta watch these fucking kids today? Like, why don't you go out with your friends or whatever? And then, however mad he was at you, he was taking it out on somebody else.
Yeah.
And sometimes I was like, when I would look at my father when we're playing, I was like, my father looks just like Paul Orndorff today. Like he's in a bad mood. Oh my God.
He was actually a tag team partner with Jimmy Snuka for a while.
Yes, I believe I saw a picture of that.
So did I. I think I saw the same thing. So yeah, listen, it's sad to see them all going, Jeff. There was a picture today I saw of Jake the Snake, Ted DiBiase, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And I said, first off, they all look pretty decent, but they're getting it, and there ain't many of them left. Tito's left.
Well, evidently
Hogan.
Yeah, listen. Dude, it's a sign of the times.
Yeah, listen.
You know what I mean? Sign of the times.
Life takes more than it gives, Jeff. Hard Rocket Sports. Jeff and Tom on a Thursday night having some fun talking about the unfortunate passing of Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, and we love talking wrestling here. I still tell you to this, Jeff. The one thing I'll tell you in the last year that I've rediscovered, besides the fact that I have the Peacock channel and I watch wrestling all the time, I'm telling you, 50% of my downtime watching TV, I got old wrestling on, whether it's Saturday Night Main Events or one of the WrestleManias. I love every second of it. So much fun to watch. But one of the things I discovered that I forgot was the machines. And Andre Giant machine is still to this point, Jeff. When you watch that and he's talking Japanese, it is funny with the French accent. I still freaking crack up to this day. Hey, Leonard, how are you, pal? Jeff, it's still
What's up, Leonard? How are
that
you?
has to be one of the funniest when Bobby is going, I know that's Andre, and Gorilla Monsoon's going, that ain't Andre.
Yeah, that was great shit.
And
Meanwhile, he's like 7'5".
and we're watching his kids going, is it Andre?
Yeah.
Come back.
That's
It
not-
wasn't Andre.
Meanwhile, like, yeah, the outfit he had on, it like you could see it was him.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's a 7 foot, 500-pound French guy talking talking Japanese. It's Andre the Giant, you
I
idiot.
want to see if I could see that.
Oh, it's
Andre,
yeah,
Andre
Machine.
Giant
Machine.
Machine.
Yeah, Giant Machine.
Right.
Still the funniest thing ever. Still, Hard Rocket Sports. Jeff and Tom, we've been bashing the home run derby, the All-Star game. We talked about the passing of Jeff LeBar, the guitar player from Cinderella. Dick Tidrow, Dirt from the New York Yankees. Amazing 1970s run team. And now Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, a celebrity trio who's passed away in the last week.
Dude, there's so many of them.
Oh,
When I go get off the air, I'm going to be busy for a while.
Paul Orndorff Gymnasium, Jeff. Just watch that for 5. It's like a 5 or 7 minute video. And if you get through that without laughing, boy, I'll tell you what, you're a better man than me. Funniest thing ever. So watch that, chance. But guys, we got a lot to get to. We got more to get to. Remember Bobby Gustafson next week. A week.
Did you get the video I sent you?
Yes. In fact, you know what? I meant to I have it written on my sheet. Did you send me that for a reason? Because I've seen that video 100 times in the last couple months.
When I was busy earlier before the show, I'm scanning through videos and everything, and I came across that one. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, I'm trying to watch it and finish up. And all of a sudden, Andre just rips his shirt off. And then Piper. Now, that was for WrestleMania 3.
That was for WrestleMania 3. He came out to challenge Hogan, yes.
Yeah, where Hogan and Piper were going against one another in 1 and 2. But in WrestleMania 3, it certainly seemed as though that Piper and Hogan were on the same side. And Piper's like, but you got to give us an answer. We need to know an answer. I've never seen him like this before. Yeah. He's just sitting there. And yes, exactly. Yeah. And then like it took him like 5. Yeah.
But when you get a chance, go back and watch it. And watch when Andre's ripping his shirt. Hogan's got his finger up in the air by his face. And Hogan, in an interview later on, said that he had Vaseline on his finger. And you could see it if you watch it slow. And he puts the Vaseline in his eye, so he tears, so it looks like he's crying.
He did that to himself?
Yes, he stuck Vaseline in his own eye, so he would tear, so it looked like he was crying after Andre ripped his shirt off.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, go back. If you watch the video, when Andre's ready to rip the thing out, Hogan's finger is up by his eye, and you see the dab of Vaseline on it. And he sticks it in his own eye, and he tears up from it. And they helped him. Make him cry.
Oh my God!
Said,
you gotta be
that's
kidding me. I gotta check that out.
That's how much they paid attention to little things on that when wrestling, and But I've watched that video 100 times. Here's the bad part for me. I actually thought that Andre the Giant's last time on wrestling was WrestleMania 3, and no, he actually a year later won the belt from Hogan on the very first Saturday Night Main Event and handed it to Ted DiBiase, which I know all about. I just watched it.
Which then they put the belt in flux.
Correct.
And I think that's when Hogan went to go make a movie or something, and then they had a tournament or whatever.
I think so.
And then Hogan came back and won the belt.
Yes. Yeah.
You know who won the belt at that time?
Who did he get it back from? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who I should know because I think I just watched it. Who did he get it back from?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. I'm just trying to see. Like,
I want to say somebody won the belt in one of those like SummerSlams or Royal Rumble type of things, and then Hogan came back and took it back, and then Hogan wound up losing it in WrestleMania 5 or 6 to the Ultimate Warrior, who then held both belts for a very short amount of time.
I just jumped on. I'm gonna have to spend some time because it's. I'm looking to see who had it, and it's just unbelievable. Like what they have here, there's just too much to see.
Yeah.
Like they just don't have a list. There has to be a list someplace.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Of who had the belt.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, you could. I'll guarantee you can find that somewhere. Yeah. So, and Lennon, you're right. It's an old Hollywood trick. But when I never noticed it till it was during the Andre the Giant video documentary on A&E that Hogan. They were talking to Hogan and they were discussing the whole thing. And Hogan said when they went to WrestleMania 3, he had no idea how the match was going to end, and he kept asking. He kept going to Andre and saying,
Dude, I just found it.
Oh yeah, what was it?
I just found it. I'm not going to go through it because there's like 141 different champions.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this much: it started off with Buddy Rogers in 1963, and the first sign of Bob Backlund holding the title that we knew of was in 1978. He lost it to Antonio Inoki.
Really?
And then got it back. Mm-hmm. He lost it November 30th, 1979. He got it back December 17th, 1979. And then we went on the run from there.
Right, to the 83.
And to answer the question, when it was vacated after DiBiase got it on February 5th, it was vacated on the 13th and not won again until March 27th by Randy Macho Man Savage. And then the fun started. You could just read this list and just go on and on and on and on and on, and it's like unbelievable. Yeah,
lots of fun. But we'll remember Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff here at Hard Rocket Sports, and unfortunately, we've done too many of these. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, we did one for Nikolai Volkov. We've done way too many of these over the last year, but we love wrestling here at Hard Rocket Sports. And
do you have a 21 bell salute?
I do not have a 21 bell salute. I think I have a 10. Let's see.
I think that's what they did. I think they did a 10 bell salute or whatever it was. But you should actually have one with the way these guys drop.
Yeah, you know what, Jeff? You're 100% correct. I do not have the bell. Let's see. Ring. I'm trying to see what's in my. One more time. Let me take a look. I haven't had a chance. Nope, I don't have it, unfortunately, but I will upload that, Jeff, and have it ready for the next time. Unfortunately, there will be next time. And I was watching a video of Hulk Hogan. Real quick, we'll end it here because I got to get – there's a bunch of stuff I want to get to. But there was a video of Hulk Hogan. I think I follow him on social media. And he was walking with a cane, and I went, oh, man, Hulk Hogan looks old. And he's got to be in his mid-60s at this point in time, at least.
He's in his late 60s. But dude.
Yeah, 67, 68 type of thing.
Yeah. He's up there, man. He's
up there. So, but listen, we
had a fake hip replacement or something like that.
I can't doubt that for a second. Yeah, but again, listen, guys, we celebrate it. We love wrestling here. It's probably after football, our second favorite thing, a second probably a sport. So you're always going to hear from us as long as we do the show. Wrestling will be a big part of it, and. Fortunately for you, you got to put up with it if you listen to us. So,
hey, listen, it is what it is. You can't go wrong with it, man. Come on.
Nope, not at all. We got a lot of ways to go here, Jeff. Let's see. How do I want to just mention one thing. So the Jets and Marcus May, Jeff, are battling, and there's now this talk that this could linger into training camp and all that other good shit. I don't blame the Jets on this one. I'll tell you why. I can't overpay for a safety. It's just not one of those positions where I think you have to spend the money. The Giants didn't do it, Landon Collins. He hasn't been the same. Seattle can't sign your boy Adams up there, Jamal Adams. And, he didn't make that big a difference last year. Jeff, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to blame Joe Douglas and the Jets if Marcus May does not break the bank for them.
Well, here's the thing. One, you mentioned Adams. 2, last year he played I think 9 games, and he set the record for defensive backs for sacks. Okay, maybe not a big deal to us, but that's definitely ammunition for him.
Yeah.
All right. Second of all, when we talk about the Jets and some of the maneuvers that they pull,
Yeah.
All right. You got to think of this, and you got to realize this. This is bad business. I don't care what you or anybody else says. It's bad business. You're talking about putting the guy, you're signing him on the franchise tag.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, I understand now, instead of giving him a long-term contract, which is what he wants at 28, you give him a long-term contract, probably get him for 2 years, 3 years, maybe, whatever, a decent amount. Now you're paying him the average of the top 3 in his position. So if you don't want to overpay for him, you're kind of overpaying for him. Instead of maybe giving him $28 million guaranteed with $36 million over 3 years with incentives. Now he's getting 11 million or 10 point something million for this year alone. All right. So you're probably not going to hear too much from him. But if he gets hurt, then he's going to say, they didn't sign me, this, that, and the other thing. But when was the last time that the Jets went into free agency with one of their own and signed him?
It's very. Listen, I will agree.
Not good.
No, I agree with you. No, I agree with you, Jeff. They do not have a great track record for second contracts. So I agree with you. They have not brought back many of their top. I have to go back to probably Mangold and Nick Ferguson to start thinking about number 1 picks who lasted here for a long time. So I agree with you. But having said that, I'm not going to break the bank on Marcus May and give him, $20 million a season to play a position I think you could fill other ways, and the Giants are a great example of it.
I don't think he's looking for $20 million a year.
He's looking to be top guy out there, Jeff. He's looking.
Well, they all say that, and then if the top guy is making $20 million a year, and you end up signing him for $13 million a year, he'd be like, I think that's a fair assessment, a fair. We've come to a fair deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Marcus May's 28 years old.
I got you. Prime of his career.
Okay. Well, he's only in the league 4 or 5 years.
Agreed.
He came in late.
Prime of his career. Great guy. He's not going to get better than he is right now. Absolutely.
No, he's not going to get better than what he is. But my point being is that he's 28 years old. Okay. When is the safety? What is the shelf life of a safety? Is it by the time he's 30? Is he going to be considered out of the league? Is it by the time he lasts till 33, 35? I think by 35, he'll be gone. You're not going to get more than 5 years or so out of this kid. That's what he's doing. Okay. Him and Jamal Adams were signed at the same year.
Correct.
Okay. One right after another.
Correct.
And Jamal Adams isn't signed to another deal yet.
Correct.
And they're both safeties. But Jamal Adams also has 2 or 3 years on him.
Age-wise, maybe. I'm not sure, but they got drafted the same draft.
When I mean 2 or 3 years, he's 2 or 3 years younger than May.
Correct.
May's 28 years old, so he's an older safety. He started out later.
Yep.
He started. I don't know how that happened, but he was a later pick.
Yes. Well, Jamal Adams probably came out as a freshman or a sophomore, and May came out as a senior. So that's probably.
He just started late. He started football late or whatever it was.
Gotcha.
But the whole point is that what do you sign him to at 28 years old? What do you sign him to? A 3-year deal, 5-year deal?
That's a good question.
And with a 4th year is the option year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, gotcha. I got you. Again, I won't blame Joe Douglas, but we'll see how else they're playing. Don't forget, August 5th, guys, we'll be discussing the Jets, Giants, and the entire NFL Football League on our NFL training camp show. It will be it'll be our 7th edition of the NFL training camp show, because the very first show I ever did by myself in my wife's sewing room was the NFL training camp show. And that was July 31st, 2014. So I'll be celebrating 7 years. Jeff right alongside me. We've been doing this for the last, 7 years and the last probably 4 years, 5 years together. So, guys, make sure you tune in that night. We'll talk Jets, Giants, and everything else. Still got plenty to get to. Jeff, I want to ask you this. In your opinion, what is the worst trait a musician can have in your band or in any band? Is it not learning the songs? Is it being late? What if Jeff Twinski, bass player, is in a band? He's got 4 other guys in the band. What's the worst trait a band member can have that would really drive you over the edge?
We're in the middle of kind of dealing with that now, with not communicating.
Oh, okay.
Saying that, oh, I got to see if I can make it, practice and this, that, and the other thing, and then not really giving anybody an affirmative answer. But things happen, things come up, so you have to roll with the punches a little bit and see what happens. If it becomes a habit, then that this person may not be the right person to deal with.
Right.
But like if a person can't, everybody learns songs at a different rate, so you can't take that away from somebody and be like, well, I learned 10 songs this week, you only learned 4. I would rather focus on less songs and then to see a way we move along at a slower pace but get more done eventually than burn everybody out and say, okay, here's 12 songs, learn them for next Tuesday.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I would think that communicating, if you can't learn it for whatever reason, or if you can't make practices for whatever reason, or if you can't make shows for whatever reason, don't let people know last minute, because at this point in time, just to get people on the same page as a practice at times seems to be a fucking chore. You know what I mean?
I got you. I would, to me, it's not learning the songs. You're not coming in knowing your parts. You come out and say, hey guys, okay, we're learn this song next week, and guys showing up. To me, that's it. But there's a good part of me that says just being late. Yeah, I was reading an article by an interview that Vinny Appice did, and the band Kill Devil Hill he did with Rex Brown.
What's up, Robert?
Hey, Rob, how are you, buddy? He said that the band, he actually quit the band because they would have a 1:30 practice, and at 3:00 the guys would be strolling in, they'd be tuning up. He said, I played in bands where it was a 1:00 practice, and at 12:30, Geezer Butler's in another room, and Tony Iommi they're warming up and getting ready. And these are, there's other bands they're showing up to an hour and a half late. He says, I have other things to do. And I'm sitting there waiting for them to show up for practice for an hour and a half before we even get to practice. And I thought, that is probably one of the worst things. He said, I played in bands where we were supposed to go on at 9:00 and guys would come strolling in at 11 p.m., take their time getting ready. We'd go on at midnight. He said, he said, to me, being late is the most rude thing you could do to fans or to another band member. I said, it's an interesting conversation. That's why I asked you what you thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, how many times, concerts are expensive.
Yeah.
So if you're getting tickets to a concert, you're spending at this point in time sometimes over $200 a ticket, depending on what the show is.
Sure.
So now if they say the show starts at 8:30 and the first band's not on by 9:15, it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Absolutely.
I don't have all night to sit and worry about or wonder what these guys are. So, think of the people that are paying for the reason that you're on that stage.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Jeff, think about it. Most concerts are in the middle of the week, Tuesday night, a Thursday night, a Wednesday night, whatever it is. And most people come from work and have to go to work the next day. And to make them show up for an 8:00 concert and not go on till 9-10 o'clock, I think is very a kick in the ass to people who are your fans who show up waiting to see you play. So that is one of the worst things that I think you could do. Again, I've walking into a practice, that everybody should learn songs, and having the people say, I didn't learn the songs this week. I get it. It's not the worst thing in the whole world. Being late to me is the worst thing in the world.
Well, you know what? We were just dealing with a situation a couple months ago where somebody didn't know all the songs.
Correct. 100%.
And if you don't know all of the songs, not everybody wants to come back.
That's just it. That's just it. Listen, I don't care if you play them perfectly or not. Show up knowing them. You know what I'm saying? It'll get better, but if you don't know them, you can't get better at it.
No, don't wait months either. If everybody else learned their parts, don't you take months to learn a song. If you can't do it, just say, listen, guys, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I don't have the time.
Yeah. I know Jeff's not a big Kiss fan, so I'm going to probably have this debate. If he wants to join in, he's more than welcome. Kiss has had 3 drummers: Peter Criss, Eric Carr, Eric Singer. I love Peter Criss for the fact that he was the original. The early stuff is great stuff. I seen Peter Criss live outside of Kiss one time. Peter Criss is not a great drummer, especially not a great rock drummer. Eric Carr to me is a fantastic drummer. Was a great drummer, And Eric Singer's done a great job. Is a professional musician and top of the line kind of guy. But if I was picking one guy that I wanted to see with Kiss in their heyday, and I'd unfortunately love to see him now, would be Eric Carr. Eric Carr was an amazing drummer and probably my favorite of the Kiss trio of drummers. I'm not knocking the other guys, but somebody was talking to me about this the other day, and I just wanted to get out there and say, Eric Carr, if you guys get a chance to listen to Eric Carr on the Kiss Creatures in the Night night album, just amazing. And I would love to have seen him in concert doing some of the old stuff. Was it just a tremendous player and taken way too early? But so just to put it out there, if I'm picking drummers for Kiss, it's easily the Fox, Eric Carr.
Wasn't Eric Singer? Did he ever have his own character in Kiss, or he was been impersonating Peter Criss?
No, the only different characters was Vinnie Vincent was I can't ever pronounce what it was, some sort of alien thing, and Eric Carr was the Fox. Otherwise,
I know.
I think was it Bruce Kulick was in Kiss, but he was without makeup. Tommy Thayer has been doing Ace, and Eric Singer's been doing Peter Criss. So yeah.
All right, because Eric Singer, I believe he was in Badlands and a couple other bands.
He's been in 2 other bands, yes.
I think he was actually singing at one point in time.
He's got a good voice. I know he does a ton of backups for Kiss, so I don't know for sure. Yes, Robert, I hope the Yankees do play. They were on a bit of a roll, even though they blew that Sunday game. I would love to have seen them, win that game and go into the All-Star break with a great sweep of the Astros. But it kind of sums up the whole first half of the season. Just bad bullpen play. I thought they should have started that inning with Chapman, up 7-2 and held what's his name, Chad Green until they got into trouble. But Eric Singer, yes, was in Badlands. He was actually in Black Sabbath for a little while. Alice Cooper, Lita Ford's band, Brian May's band, and Gary Moore's band, and he was on his own band was ESP.
Okay.
I don't remember ESP, Jeff. You're gonna have to help me with that.
No, I don't know that one either.
Yeah. So, but he was in Sabbath for a little while. So
everybody was in Black Sabbath for a little while, believe it or not.
I think you're right. So Eric Singer's I think he's actually of Jewish German descent, Jeff.
Eric Singer?
90 seconds.
Yes. Oh, and ASP is the Eric Singer Project. So that's probably what he did.
Trying to figure that.
I did not put that together. I have to be honest with you. So, but he did the 7 Star and the Eternal Idol albums for Black Sabbath. Jeff, you familiar with those albums?
There was a
86, 87.
Considered Tony Iommi's solo albums, but were put out as Black Sabbath albums because of contract requirements.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I did not know. I will tell you, being on that Badlands album, that is one of the most underrated albums of all time. That is a great album.
Badlands.
Yeah, Badlands, great album, great band. Unfortunately, I believe just the one album they put out before it all went bad.
No, I think they got. I know they definitely have 2.
Do they really?
They may have 3 albums out. I'm not positive.
But the original singer only did the one, right?
No, he did at least 2.
And so did what's his name? Jakey Lee was in more than one of the albums.
I know he was in it for 2. I don't know how many albums. You can't find any information on Badlands.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes,
you can't find anything. I cannot find their music anywhere.
Yep,
I can't find anything about Badlands anywhere. It's I don't know. This is a band that they just took and wiped off the face of the planet. I don't know why.
It's very true. I agree with you.
I have no idea.
I agree with you. That it's a band that was just here for a few minutes, and I just Wikipedia'd them. They're out. Let's see. So Badlands, Voodoo Highway.
Yeah. First album was Badlands. Second album, Voodoo Highway.
And that seems to be it. Let's see. Eric Singer was fired from Badlands. He joined Paul Stanley Solo Club. Bandlands picked up Jeff Martin, former vocalist for Racer X. I'm not sure who else. Gillen left the band. Friction. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So
Gillen actually went in. What the fuck was his first name? Shit. Gillen actually went into Sabbath for a while.
Yes.
And ended up dying of AIDS.
Yeah, it's Ray Gillen, Jeff. Ray Gillen.
Yeah, Ray Gillen. He ended up dying of AIDS.
Yes.
And I don't think he actually ever recorded anything, but there was a lot of shit that went on with him. Talk that he was out there infecting other people, knowingly that he had AIDS, and he was knowingly out there infecting others.
Yeah, there was an on-stage confrontation between Gillen and Jakey Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to read the article. You got to read a little bit, but it's kind of a weird thing on stage. But 2 albums, singles, blah blah blah. But 2 albums: Bandlands in '89 and Voodoo Highway in '91 and '98. I'm sorry, there was a 3rd album, 1998, Dusk. Did not chart. I guess I don't know who was on that album, but I don't think much of the original members were there. So, but interesting. Again, one of those bands. You're right, Jeff. Kind of washed from the face of the earth. But
dude. I mean, you try to find. I think it's actually easier to find Made in Japan than it is anything from fucking Badlands.
Yeah, you can find Made in Japan in my collection, Jeff. Anytime you want to see, baby, it's here.
I have the record.
Yeah.
I'm talking CD.
Oh, yeah. I don't that I can't tell you.
Tom, I will be right back. I got to run to the little fellas room.
Good, Jeff. Do your thing. Hard Rock
right back.
Tom on a Thursday night. Having some fun. We got about a half hour left. We'll entertain and inform you as best we can every week. And again, we're here every Thursday night. Come on back. Have some fun with us. Lots to get to still. Next week, Bobby Gustafson joins Jeff and I talking a little hard rock and metal. Again, we'll take a week off after that, and then we'll come back August 5th with the big NFL training camp show. Plenty of shows coming down the line. We got plenty of talk. Football cranks up the show. Make sure you check us all out. And Rob, I see that. I know I've talked to Lenny about it. He told me he went to lunch with Ace Frehley. Lenny seems to get around pretty good. I grew up a huge Kiss fan, and again, I've strayed, but I own every album. I've seen them on tour a couple times now, and I'll always consider Kiss my second favorite band of all time. Great early music, not so much later on, but still one of the all-time great bands of all time. If you guys haven't seen Kiss, please do check out the biography that was just done by A&E. They did a great job. Lots of good information. Learned a lot of good stuff. And while I'm not the biggest Paul Stanley fan in the whole world, I did come to appreciate him a little bit more. And great entertainers, just great entertainers, the guys in Kiss. So enjoy it while you can, folks. They won't be here forever, although Gene's going to try. But make sure you get out there and support Kiss and all the other bands. And Jeff's back, so let's run through a couple other things. We did the Yankees. We did a little home run derby. We did all of that. Jeff, the Redskins question: what football player played on the Cowboys and the Panthers? Jeff, can you answer that? Number 19 was a Cowboy and a Panther. Number 19, a Cowboy and a Panther. I have to think hard about that for a second. Number 19 have to be a receiver. That's the position number 19 would be. Boy, I am drawing a big blank on that, Jeff. You don't have nothing, huh?
No, I have no idea.
All right, Rob, you got me on this one. If you want to give it to me, I'll check it out after the thing. But Jeff, the Redskins are officially going to change their name. I was hoping they would stay with the Washington football team because I think it pissed everybody off. But it's not going to be Warrior. They will announce it sometime next year. They will stay with the same colors.
They won't. They're not going to use the same colors.
They are going to use the same colors. So they're going to stick.
Okay, thank God.
They're going to stick with the Ronald McDonald colors. So it's interesting. Keyshawn, okay, Keyshawn Johnson. Huh? Okay, I didn't know Keyshawn. I forgot. All right, good one, Rob. Thank you for a little trivia. If we had any prizes, we'd certainly send it out to you at this point. But Jeff, interesting. I just wish they wouldn't have buckled. I was hoping that they come back now with everything back in the rearview mirror and say, you know what, screw it, we're going back to the Redskins next year. And I still pray that that's what they're going to announce, but it doesn't seem like they're going to change the logo. They're going to change the name and reinvent themselves as the Washington somethings.
I don't see that, unfortunately. Although I do understand what you're saying, I just don't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's in the age of political correctness. They're not going to go back and do the right thing, in my opinion, and bring back their iconic name. I wish they would have fought it from the beginning, but Jeff, they did not. So, tis what it is, Jeff. That's all I can tell you. So, Rob, that's just one of those things I wanted to bring back. Let's see. That's the Redskins. Let's see, Jeff. Shark Week this week. I love Shark Week. It's are you a Shark Week guy?
Shark Week, not Shark fucking Month.
Yeah, it is Shark Month. You're
all right. That's one thing, and I remember when Shark Week was exactly that, Shark Week.
Yes, I agree.
You know, I've been watching it because there's been nothing else on.
Yes, agreed.
So I have caught a couple episodes. Listen, I saw a good one today. This jerk off decides to go in the water. They tell him that there's sharks in the water, sharks in the area, but there's big waves, and he wants to go surfing, and he says, well, there's big waves, so they got to be gone. So the jerk off goes in the water, and next thing you know, I see the going to commercial, but they show nothing but some guy flailing around in water that's all filled with blood.
Yeah,
and it's just like, what a jerk off! Come on, man, this isn't your neighbor's dog that you stomp at, and it runs away.
Yeah,
you're talking about a fucking shark, it's just built to eat. That's all it does.
Yeah, again, yes, Patrick. They are the Washington Pansies. That would be a good name for them. No, I enjoy it. I love watching the sharks breach when they come flying out of the water. The big great whites. I get into it. There's a couple I taped. William Shatner at 90-something years old was diving with sharks, and Chris Hemsworth, the actor, did one too. I get into some of that stuff where you can learn a little.
Is he that old?
90. I think he's 90 or 91.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, you gotta
be still looks good. I gotta tell you the truth. The guy don't look like he's 90, but I'll give him credit, man. The man looks all right. So but I love Shark Week. I get a kick out of it. You're right, though. It is Shark Month. It gets a little wary. And again, there's not a lot of new information, not a lot of new stuff coming out that you go, oh, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see, But
I mean, they're telling us, like on the thing today, there's like, this guy got bit by a shark. Could have been a tiger shark. Yeah. And then they're like, nope, could have been a bull shark. He thinks it's a bull shark. It was a bull shark. Then they had an expert come in, and he's telling them like, where's like one bite is here, and the other bite is on the back of his fucking shoulder. And he's like, I believe it was a bull shark. And the guy's like, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure it was a great white. Look where the fucking, come on.
Favorite shark, Jeff? What's your favorite shark? Got a favorite one?
Yes. I'll go with this one right here.
That's your favorite shark.
There you go.
Me, it's the hammerhead. Love the hammerhead. Love watching the hammerhead float through the air.
Why?
I don't know. Just a cool looking shark.
Unusual looking shark, man.
Yeah, it's just cool. I don't know. The great white's a great white, and the other sharks, the lemon shark and the tiger shark and all that good. The hammerhead.
The bull shark is pretty cool, man. It kills people.
But the hammerhead is just cool. You can't beat the hammerhead.
Listen, I mean, they all have their thing. You know what I mean? They like the whale shark and everything. They all do, like you said, the lemon shark. Some of them don't bite people. Some of them are actually people friendly.
Yeah.
They won't go after people. And then there's other ones that just, like the white shark will just take a nibble first to see what it is. And then he goes on from there. So it's, a whole bunch of different sharks out there. Some of them are cool. Some of them ain't.
No,
it is what it is.
I do enjoy Shark Week. So again, hold on, look at the bummer ride with you in the morning. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. No problem there. I'm just sorry. Okay. I have to reach out afterwards. Okay, sorry. But yeah, Jeff, Shark Week's a cool week. We got a couple more minutes of the show, so I want to get to a few more things before I let you go. Again, happy 5th anniversary to our good friends at RFO Records. Check out rforecords.com. Open the show with a little Jeff Westlake, our good friend coming back home off the Dead World album. Make sure you keep in touch. You get there and check out make sure you check out everybody at RFL. They're great artists and plenty of stuff coming. Jeff, Summer Olympics start next week. Are you a Summer Olympics guy? Do you watch?
No, I don't like the Summer Olympics, man. I'd rather watch the Winter Olympics. The Summer Olympics, I just don't get all of those track and field events. Like, there's the 400 meter, the 400 meter relay, the 400 meter, whatever. Like, there's so many different ones in each category or however for each race.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to keep track.
No, I got you. There is. But I do enjoy it. I'm not sure. There's a lot about the Winter Olympics I love. The skiing and that stuff, but in the Summer Olympics, there's so much better stuff they did. I love the swimming events. Some of them are really good. But you're right. There's a 100-meter butterfly, the 50-meter butterfly. There's the 400-meter relay. There's the medley. There's it's a ton of stuff. But I love.
Listen, anybody can run around in a circle. I like the idea of some guy being on a sled 4 inches high on his back doing 90 miles an hour where he can't see and he's steering with his feet. That's the spirit of the Olympians, man, doing 90 miles an hour.
But 90 miles an hour. Do you like the face first guys or the guys who go down on their backs?
Well, if you look up, there was a guy that had a luge accident a couple years ago. If you watch the video, you can actually hear him hitting the metal stanchion, and you would understand why that's such a unbelievable savage sport. Just the sound he made. It was pretty sick, but
I enjoy it when there's the 4 bobsledders and they're going about 120 miles an hour and they crack up, and then you see the thing upside down and all you see are 4 heads just bobbling in the thing.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, they showed him carrying the bobsled down the hill. That's my favorite. Love it.
Or sometimes when they have the 4 heads hitting the ice and the entire stadium or wherever it is they are is quiet, you can hear a mouse fart because nobody knows if they're alive or not.
Hey, Will.
What's up, Will?
Hey, Will, how are you, buddy?
So, that adds an element of, like, it doesn't happen. Nobody's going to drown in the fucking Summer Olympics.
Yeah, no.
But in the Winter Olympics, people get fucked up.
That's true. You had to add the element that way, Jeff, when you add the viciousness of it. I will tell you the one thing, some of the sports in the Summer Olympics, like synchronized swimming, synchronized diving, I just don't get. I don't get it.
No, neither do I.
Yeah, so but I do enjoy it. I look forward to it. It's the first time I can think of in a long time. I'm actually off. I'm going to be on vacation, but I will be away, and I'm sure my wife and I will be in a place that serves a few cocktails, and we'll be watching a lot of the Olympics while I'm on vacation. So I'm stoked for that. I'm off the weekend when it starts, and then I'll be away that week, and I'll be watching a ton of Olympics while I'm in Florida and doing some driving around and enjoying myself. So I'm looking forward to the Summer Olympics. I love international tournaments. Hey, you know what? While I'm thinking about it, I wanted to talk about the soccer from last weekend. I know you didn't watch it, but did you pay attention to any of it?
No, I know that there was some riots as usual.
Yeah. Well, the big thing for me was
some fans getting their asses kicked.
I did not watch a lot of the Brazil-Argentina game, which I understand was a good game. Argentina won. But I did, and I was doing other things. I caught the replay of Italy and England, and it was a good soccer game. England had a great first half, and then I think they just shot their load, and they were just playing to not lose in the second half. And Italy did everything they could. They scored. But Jeff, here's what I didn't like. So you have this big international game, comes along every few years. You play 90 minutes. You're tied. You go through 2 overtimes. You're still tied. And then the thing gets figured out. They finish this thing up with these shootouts. And you got this guy kicking 20 feet away into a net that you and I could drive 2 tractor trailers into. And that's how this is decided. And I got to tell you, I think it's the most anticlimactic. There's got to be a better way. I understand that they could play all night. And if they're playing not to lose, just kicking the ball around, you could be there forever. There's got to be a better way than these shootouts in soccer to end the big tournament game like that.
listen, soccer is basically based along hockey, or hockey is based along soccer. However, whichever one came first. So that's how hockey does it too. The rules are kind of very similar. And you see in hockey, sometimes those periods, they could go into 5 periods or overtime, 3 to 5 periods.
Yeah.
You've seen it happen in the
Oh,
past.
absolutely.
So if the team doesn't want to play, if they're playing to not lose, what more could you do? You know what I mean?
No, I got it. The problem, see, the thing with hockey is you're on the ice for 30 seconds or less. You got a whole bunch of guys in soccer. Once a guy comes out of the game, he can't go back in. And guys are just burnt. I mean, I don't care how great a shape you're in. You're out there for, 120 minutes running up and down this big field. You're not going to have the same juice. I think they got to play with the rules a little bit. Great game. I love the international soccer games. I won't watch the women anymore. I think they're pigs. I will never watch a women's soccer game again while any of those women who represented them in the World Cup a couple of years ago, I'll never watch it again. Now, having said that, I love international soccer and the Olympics, the World Cups, the Copa, the whole bit. So, but fix it, don't win it. Kicking a little ball into a huge net that the goalie has about 3% chance of stopping unless you make a mistake. So I'm just throwing that out there, Jeff.
Oh, listen, don't forget, it's not like it's decided on the first one that scores. Now they won the game.
I got you.
They do go through the motions, but I hear you. But, I don't know. I just, soccer is, as much as I understand soccer, that's as much as I don't understand it.
Understood.
It's a 90-minute game, but, they account for whatever time is not being used for action.
Yes.
So that at the end of 90 minutes, you think the game is over, but they keep going because you got to play a full 90 minutes of soccer.
Correct. The referee adds on what they call injury time for any time that stoppages for that stuff, and he'll add 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever he deems needed to be played, and you will play that additional time. So yes,
I just don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it's the rules are pretty simple, but if you don't watch it, it's but that's as simple as it goes. The referee says, we had 7 guys get hurt, and we stopped for a total of 7 minutes. So instead of playing 90 minutes, we're going to play 97 minutes to make up for those 7 minutes we lost. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's how they do it, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, let's see.
You must have some success with it because
it's been around.
It's a worldwide sport, worldwide played sport.
100%, Jeff. 100%. Hey, Jeff, let's end the show with a couple football things since we're getting ready.
You got to move the thing. All I see is Hard Rock.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking for some paper.
Unless, oh, there he is, Pinky Mac.
Pinky Mac.
Pinky Mac is back.
Yeah.
The Macanudo.
I want to get the Super Bowl odds real quick with you.
Whatever you want to do there.
Let's do Super Bowl odds if I can find my Super Bowl odds. Okay, odds to win the Super Bowl, Jeff. So let me see if you can guess the top 3. I won't go much more than that. You know what? No, I have to do 4. Give me the top 4 teams picked to win the Super Bowl this year. What would you say right now?
It's got to be Tampa Bay, Kansas City.
Yep, good so
without
far.
a doubt.
2 more temes, guys.
Right, 2 more. I'm going to say everybody seems to be high on the Rams. I'm going to throw the Rams in there.
Okay.
And let me see. Who else? The Rams. I guess maybe Green Bay.
No, actually, Green Bay's a little further down than I thought. Great. I never thought you'd get the Rams. The one you missed, I thought you'd get easy. It's your division, the Bills.
The Bills, really? Wow.
Yeah, the Bills were number 3. So the clear favorite is the Chiefs at 9-2. The Buccaneers at 13-2 are the second favorite to win the Super Bowl. And the Bills, Rams, 49. The 49ers are back up there. So it's pretty interesting. I'm not, again, can the Chiefs be the first team to win a Super Bowl, then lose a Super Bowl, and then repeat and get back there? That would be interesting to me. It doesn't happen anymore. It's very difficult for teams to get back there. I don't think they will. If I was betting this year, I would bet against the Chiefs getting back to the Super Bowl because it's very hard to do.
No, it's very, very hard to do. But if there's a team that's capable of doing it, I will know that the first week.
Yeah.
It all depends on how what's his face comes back. Mahomes comes back from the injury, the surgery on his toe.
Great.
If he comes back and he's playing good, I see no reason why
Well,
that they wouldn't do it.
Again, the big weakness, and then I think they tried to shore it up a little bit, but their big weakness last year was their offensive line. So we'll see if that got fixed well enough to repeat. Now, Jeff, can you give me the bottom four teams, the four teams least likely to win the Super Bowl this year?
Lions, Giants, Jets, and maybe Texans.
Yes, you missed. Well, you got two. You missed the other two.
What two did I get?
Okay, you got the Lions and the Texans. You're 100% right. The Texans are 300-1 to win the Super Bowl, and that's a situation that has been eerily quiet, Jeff. In a couple weeks before the training camp opens, is Deshaun Watson going to camp with the Texans?
He certainly ain't going to camp with anybody else. He's lucky he's even considered a football player. You got to move that paper, bro.
Oh, sorry, man.
You're being totally hidden.
I got you.
The people want to see Pinky Matt.
Yeah, they certainly do. What do you think? I mean, okay, so the teams you missed were the Eagles and the Bengals.
The Bengals? Really?
Yeah, they have the Bengals.
The Jets and Giants are listed, and the Lions are listed ahead of the Bengals?
Well, here's how it goes. No, it's the Texans are dead last, and then the Lions, then the Bengals and the Eagles. Those are the bottom four teams.
The Bengals are listed before the Eagles?
Yes, the Bengals.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised myself with that one. The Jets are right there, number 5. Jaguars, Falcons, and then the Giants. The Giants are 80-1. The Jets are 125-1.
What are the Jags?
Jaguars are 125-1, same as the Falcons. So you got a bunch of teams in this basically the same spot. The Falcons, the Jaguars, the Jets, and the Eagles are all 125-1 to win the Super Bowl this year. Interesting. Again, I have the list, and there's a few teams I was a little surprised. Cowboys are 40-1. The Saints are 40-1, which is something they haven't been that low in a long time. We all know because
I think they should be lower.
Very choice. Let me ask you, Jeff. I'll ask it in a couple of weeks again. Who's the Saints starting quarterback this year? Do they have a true number one, or is it one of those things they're going to have two guys playing quarterback this year?
I think they're going to force Jameis Winston.
You think that's where it's going?
I think so.
It's hard for me to argue.
How could you do Hill? The guy's not. You know what I mean? At least Jameis Winston was a starter in the league.
I agree with you, Jeff. I can't argue. The Bears are 66-1, Redskins 50-1, Vikings at 50-1. A lot of people are picking the Vikings to be a better team this year. Not Vegas. Vegas has them 50-1. Steelers at 40-1. Cowboys 40-1.
Just because somebody's picking them to be 50, hold on a second, Tom. Hold on. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, he's squeezing one out.
Just because they have them listed as 50-1 doesn't mean they're not going to be a better team. If Rodgers doesn't make his mind up, and it certainly seems like he's going to be caving and coming back to the Packers.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
From what I've seen.
Yeah.
All right. So that whole division is in flux. That the Vikings may end up being the best team in that division if Rodgers doesn't want to play for the Packers.
No.
Because the Lions are out of it. There's 3 quarterbacks on the fucking Bears.
Yep.
And no quarterbacks on the fucking Packers.
Yep.
And the only one that has any experience with their team would be Cousins and the Vikings. Best team in the league, or best team in the division.
Yeah, no, listen, 100%. We'll get to more Super Bowl odds when we do the show on August 5th. Again, here's another one I thought interesting. Vegas has the Steelers at plus or minus over under 9 wins this year. I got to tell you, that's a tough pick because 9 might be the number they get at best. That's a tougher division this year. And I don't think the Steelers are any good with Roethlisberger at quarterback.
I don't think Roethlisberger is any good with Roethlisberger at quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, isn't he the last one standing out of that class?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so what is that telling you?
Yeah, no, I think they should have moved on last year. Yeah, then they certainly should have moved on in this offseason. I guess they want to take one more shot at it, but unless he has a miracle revitalization, Jeff. I think the Steelers may be a sub 500 team this year. Might be. I want to reserve my. The Browns are going to be better, I think, this year. I do believe that if healthy, Joe Burrow's healthy, I think the Bengals will be a better team this year.
Oh, Bengals will definitely be a better team, but he got hurt later on in the year.
Correct.
So you got to see what's going on. And speaking of players that got hurt, and nobody knows what's going on.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. He himself would not give a return date.
No.
Barkley. He's milking this shit.
As long as listen, I saw him working out. He'll be ready opening day. I promise.
Dude, I hope he comes back opening day. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
I hope he does, and I hope he goes to make a cut, and he goes to the left, and his knee goes to the right.
Here we go.
And it's K-Rear over.
Here we go. Jealousy. Okay. Jealousy.
Oh, no, listen. There's no jealousy there. There's no jealousy there. I just want to see the guy crash and burn for my own reasons.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right, we're gonna end it with this, guys. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there and enjoying the show tonight. We're having a lot of fun as always. It goes by really quick. It just does. For me, I love to do this show, and every week I get pumped up. Jeff, top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Do you want to venture to give a top 10 with now, not your top 10, what you think other people are out there thinking, or how do you want to handle this? I have the top 10 quarterbacks in front of me.
All right, what do you want me to do? Give you 10, or do you want me to?
Give me your top 5. Let me see if I get your top 5 right. How's that?
All right, well, you got to go Mahomes.
On the money. Go ahead.
Okay, Allen.
Ooh, go ahead.
All right.
That's not right, but go ahead. Keep going.
What's that?
The Allen is not number 2.
No, I'm not saying, but is he in the top 5?
He is in the top 5. I was hoping you'd give it to me in order, but okay, you want to just give me top 5?
I can't. It's hard to give him to him in order. I don't see that.
Yeah, that's 2 for 2 then. Yeah.
I'm just let me see. So 2 for 2.
Yep.
I gotta say, I'm trying to think of where some of these guys are now because they switched teams.
Let's start with the obvious.
Rodgers, I would say.
Yep, 100%.
Wilson.
So far, so good. 4 for 4. You got one more.
And number 5. I don't know. I'm going to go with one out there. I'm going to say Mayfield, Baker Mayfield.
You forgot about your boy Tom Brady.
No, I didn't forget about him.
He's there. That's number. So it's Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, Wilson, Josh Allen. I didn't like Allen being number 5 in that spot. I really do believe Allen's jumped up in this thing. Now the second 5.
Yeah, he did to number 5.
Yes, he doesn't belong.
He doesn't need to jump over those other guys that are there right now.
Not yet. All right, fair enough. That's a fair enough point. Now,
where did Roethlisberger fall to?
All right, well,
12, 15.
Let's go to the next 5, Jeff, and let's see if he's there. So, Jeff, your next 5 guys, in this thing, how would you go? Give me your next 5 guys in the league.
I gotta say. Kyler Murray.
Yep, good. So far, so good, Jeff. Go ahead.
Mayfield, I would say.
Okay, he's not in there.
Burrow.
Not in there.
Wow. Cousins.
Not in there.
And Wentz.
Not there, Jeff.
Wow.
I'll give you the next 5. Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Dak Prescott. Lamar Jackson. Justin Herbert.
Okay.
And Kyler Murray, bringing up the rear. So you got 6 of 10, which is not bad because I wouldn't have gotten a couple of those myself. But interesting, the thought process now on the top guys. And I was trying to come up with real fast, Jeff. We're going to end the show now. I was trying to come up with a guy who should be in that top 10 that's not there, and I really couldn't come up with another guy. Burrow doesn't have enough experience yet. Cousins, I don't think belongs there. Roethlisberger is the one guy that but that would be off the past. Is there one guy that you think should be in that top 10 that's not there?
Jeez, no, I don't think so. Because to be honest with you, there's been so many changes with quarterback.
Yeah,
you know that it's not the guy from the Jets, the Giants, the Dolphins.
Correct.
It's not the guy from the Eagles.
Nope.
Okay. I'm trying to. It's definitely not the guy from the Texans. It's not anybody else from the NFC West. Denver doesn't have a quarterback.
Does Derek Carr belong in that top 10?
No, maybe top 15, not top 10.
Okay. Does Wentz belong in that top 10?
No, maybe after this year, maybe next year he belongs in the top 10. I don't even remember.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, he's got to prove himself again.
How about Baker? Does Mayfield belong in that list?
I would say maybe I could see him being a top 10 guy at this point in time.
Who in that list doesn't belong there then?
Who was the second five?
Stafford, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, and Murray.
It's either Lamar Jackson or Matthew Stafford.
I think Stafford only because he's put up some numbers. Lamar Jackson's done nothing to me. I know he's won an MVP, so it's hard to say he's done nothing. But I would not have put Lamar Jackson up there. But I understand that it's the role he plays. But you're right. When I go through the rest of the league, I had a hard time coming up with another guy. Could you put Goff in there? Maybe. I mean, he's been to a Super Bowl.
Top 10?
Again, I wouldn't. I'm just saying there's very few guys. I mean, Andy Dalton's not getting in there. You know, Mitchell Trubisky's not getting in there. You're right. Deshaun Watson's not getting in there.
No.
So, I don't necessarily think Dak Prescott
ain't getting in.
Cam Newton's not getting in there. So, you got a lot of young kids, like you said, with Wilson and Jones and Tua. And
Drew Lock, Donald, and Bridgewater ain't getting in the top 10.
Right. So, again, when you really square it up, I would say, 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, Jeff, we would have had an easy time coming up with a top 10. Well, his other guy, does Matt Ryan belong in the top 10?
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible, but he's going to fall out of the top 10 without Julio Jones.
Agreed.
He's got that kid. What's his name?
He's got
Calvin Ridley or whatever.
Yes, he's got Calvin Ridley, and he got the kid they drafted this year, the big tight end. So, but a few years ago, Jeff, Stafford and Matt Ryan and those guys were 9, 10, 11 in this thing. There's not a great crop of quarterbacks in this league where maybe 10, 15 years ago, we could have went through half of the league and had, guys who were great to elite quarterbacks. This is no longer becoming a quarterback league anymore.
It is. It's just right now they're in flux. And I think that you're going to have a more defined top 10 with some of the people that we talked about.
Yep.
We have other people that are on the bubble that may end up being in the bottom half of the league as it is. And then you got a bunch of rookies that may break through this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you got guys like Tua, who played just a few games and already whose career is in jeopardy.
Yep.
So you got to see what happens to him. You got Zach Wilson. You got Trevor Lawrence trying to break in.
Yeah.
You got the kid that was drafted, Trey Lance.
Yep.
In San Francisco, which I don't understand. He's probably not going to play this year. Everybody knows he's not going to play this year, but Garoppolo is going to be forced to play extra hard so that he has a job next year. And he's got to be looking over his shoulder this year.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Everybody seems to be chasing and trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and that's part of the problem. And because of that, you're going to see a change in the pecking order of the quarterbacks. Somebody like Carson Wentz, if he doesn't have a good year this year, or at least projects to have a good year this year, that's it. His career could be done.
Very possible.
Done.
Yeah, no, listen, I think the quarterback position's in a flux. Now, I agree with you. I think with guys like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson coming out, I think that there's some guys coming up that may fill that void in a year or two. But once, if Brady walks away this year, if Rodgers walks away after this year, I think looking at the list now, the quarterback position is not what it was 10 years ago when you had Brady and Eli and Roethlisberger, Rivers. I mean, even those guys who you don't love were head and shoulders over some of the guys that's on this list right now.
Right now, but you know what? We would never have thought that we were talking Allen that would be in the top of the list.
I agree with you there.
In the top 5. I can't remember who else was it. Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Oh, he's small. He's not going to do much. He's in the top 10. Russell Wilson, maybe more in the top 10 because almost out of default.
I
You know what
agree
I
with
mean?
that. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple others. Bridgewater, he was looking like he was going to have a good career at one point in time. Then injuries robbed him. Sam Darnold, does he bounce back? Does anybody even notice if he bounces back in Carolina?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Kirk Cousins, what happens? Is he in his last year in Minnesota? Justin Fields, they got 3 quarterbacks over there in Chicago.
Yep.
That's not a good situation over there either, I don't believe. Because they're not getting rid of Foles as of yet, notice.
No, and Andy Dalton's still hanging around thinking he may get a job.
Andy Dalton, I could see him starting the year off as the starter.
I agree. I think that's
I
where it goes. I think Andy Dalton's going to start on that team, and then you'll probably see Fields midway through.
Yeah, probably more than likely. Same thing with up in New England.
Yeah,
when you got fucking Cam Newton starting the year off with Mac, should be breathing down his neck.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Time will tell.
Yep.
Yeah,
no. Listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's coming around the corner. This show thrives on the NFL, and it'll pick up. I know. I got to tell you, it's hard for me. I came up with a bunch, and Jeff helped me this week with a bunch of good subjects, but it gets easier when the NFL kicks in. There's always plenty to talk about here. We've done supplemental shows because there was too much to talk about on one given night. So hang in there, guys. NFL's coming around the corner. In the meantime, we're going to wrap this show up.
Well, just one more quick thing. One more very quick thing. You brought it up, and then we never got to it. I saw it for myself. I didn't dig it. The football, the uniforms for the All-Star game. Real quick. I remember when they used to wear their home uniforms.
Correct.
Home team wore the homes. Away team wore the aways. And that's it. What happened? When did this happen? This year?
Yeah.
Was the first year that they did this?
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it. I remember back in the day, they would there's a one place they did vests. And I thought that was okay, but I'm just sharing the uniforms on the screen right now, so everybody can see it.
I think that one was dark blue.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like softball. I've worn softball uniforms that were better than this. Jeff, put your team hat on, your team jersey, and you can put on any pair of pants you want, and that's the All-Star game. This, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is.
Well, listen, unlike football and the NBA and hockey, where the teams are playing together as a unit, you got guys that are playing positions on a field. Does it really matter? Maybe you can have them all wear their uniform, wear a certain hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or maybe if you want them to wear their home jersey for the home team with blue pants, and then the away team wears their away pants, away shirt with red pants or something like that.
Agreed. You got to wear the jersey. It's
around 4th of July. It should evolve around red, white, and blue.
Well, that's a good thought. Okay. I agree with that. But those are horrendous. That's horrendous. You can't. I turned it on. I turned it off. It's almost as bad as the Thursday night color rush uniforms that the NFL makes them wear. It's like one solid color. It's like it's the worst. And the Rams brought back. They have a new uniform this year. It's not the full time. It's an alternate. They went back to the old 1980s Rams with Eric Dickerson. There's a great video. I meant to grab it. I never.
Yes, did you see it?
Yes, with Eric Dickerson coming out. You saw it?
Yeah.
That's a great video, right? That is a great video.
Yeah, the videos like that are cool.
Yes, absolutely. So I love that fact. I just wish it was their regular uniform, not the alternate. But it is what it is. What it is. So Jeff, another show wraps up. It's been a beauty. You enjoying your vacation? Still got another week to go on your vacation, right?
Yeah, and it's gonna go as fast as a fucking bird farting in a fucking tornado. Over.
You're as elegant as ever, Jeff. You're as elegant as ever. Total.
Just being honest, man. Like that's the problem with vacation.
Yeah.
I got to go back.
Yes.
And then it just hits you so quick that like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah, I said it all the time. Like I'm looking forward to my vacation, but I want to go slow because it's my last one of the year, and I realize
really?
I only get two. Listen, nobody's ever put a cap on it, but I usually take 2 weeks vacation. I took one already. I'll take another one now. I'll probably grab a day or two off at the end of the year, but we don't get a ton of time off. It just doesn't work that way in my business. So if you're not in, if you could take a lot of vacation time, you're probably not needed, and they'll get rid of you in a heartbeat. That's how it works.
Wow, that sucks, man.
Yep. So I'll enjoy this week, and but yeah, it will be very sad for me the last couple days because I'll know it's my one last long stretch off, and it is what it is. Rough day, rough week, but yeah, Jeff definitely made it make it better. But I am fermenting in my own dried sweat, so I'm going to jump in the shower and go to sleep because I have to get up very early in the morning to do it all over again. But listen, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Darren Michael Boyd, my dad, all you guys on Facebook, Patrick and Will and Robert and Lenny and Matt and everybody else who checked in tonight. We do appreciate it. It's nice to know people out there listening. Thanks to everybody to Jeff Westlake for letting me play some of his music to open the show. And, of course, thanks to my partner in crime, Mr. Jeff Towinski, still celebrating his birthday all week. And if you want to send him gifts, he'll give you an address to send it to.
Yeah, send some shit. Why not?
Why not? Then Jeff got a big show. We'll do more announcing next week, but 24th just got a big show. Is that your last one with Raul? Is that the end of the Raul era? I heard
I don't know what the fuck is going on with Raul. All I know is that Raul was like, played every week, played during the pandemic, and now all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, that's it, I'm done."
Yeah, I thought it was the oddest thing I've ever seen, but I wished him well, and I'm sure that
odd. I should show you the fucking text messages when I said, "You guys want to start practicing?" And some of the responses I got, I'm like, "We may play some of these songs for the first time at the show."
Really?
Oh yeah.
I guess there's a lack of interest out there, but listen, Raul's a hell of a player. And there'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys get out and support Jeff. I'll let him do a little more. You want to promote it now? You want to wait till next week?
We'll talk about it next week.
All right. So again, guys, I hope you have a great weekend coming up. Baseball's back. Good big Yankee series with the Red Sox if they get through the COVID and the Yankees play. And listen, I do mention, if you guys didn't get a chance to watch the Gerrit Cole game last Saturday night, 130 pitches, took it right to the end. Told the manager to get the F off the mound. It was his game. That's what baseball's all about. I'm telling you, if you had a chance to watch Gerrit Cole last Saturday night, I watched that entire game. He couldn't have pitched better. He beat the Astros 1-0. Great baseball game. If you didn't watch it, great baseball game and a great pitching performance by a great athlete. So that's what baseball's all about.
It wasn't even a great pitching performance, just poor hitting by the Astros.
Oh yeah, you can say
it's not like this guy. How many strikeouts did he have?
I want to say 12.
12.
I want to say 12.
Overrated.
Well, again, guys, so watch a little baseball this weekend. Football's coming. They've already got the odds out there. They've already got the week 1 numbers for the bets. So if you're a bet man, start looking at your numbers. But we'll be back next Thursday night with Bobby Gustafson as our guest. Hard Rocket Sports. We'll do it all over again. I want you guys to enjoy your week. Have a great, safe weekend. Stay out of the heat whenever you can. And if you get caught in the heat, make sure you shower as soon as you get home so you don't start smelling yourself like I am right now.
I want to know, is there any chance at all of a video surfacing of the half man anywhere?
The half man is in St. George, in Lake George right now. I've seen some videos. I have not had any correspondence other than I got a save the date for a half man wedding next year.
Really?
Yes, there's a half man wedding coming. If you're smart, you will give him a bad address by accident because.
Well, when did you get to save the date from?
A couple days ago.
Well, I didn't get one, so I think I'm all right.
You think you're safe?
Yeah, I think I'm safe.
Save the date. Oh, it's April of next year. So Dom, but I have not seen the half man. Him and his fiance, his lovely fiance, and Dom's kid are up in Lake George. He does it every year. So I have not. There's been no.
He's toasting dead people up there this year.
I did see the toasting of the dead people. Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't mention Mr. Wonderful though. I have to tell you, I didn't see a mention of Mr. Wonderful.
Well, listen, if the paper is up on the counter, he's not going to see it.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So you got to think of when he goes into a store, you got to set up a store for midgets.
Lowest shelf?
Lowest shelf, without a doubt.
Well, I'm going to get the half man with the helmet on for August 5th, no matter what. He's going to have to come on and break down the Raiders for us in helmet from for that show. So
Oh, without a fucking doubt, he needs to wear the fucking helmet. He has to. Having the helmet on is a must.
He's no longer allowed on the show without the helmet, even if it's July. It don't matter. Even if he's calling to talk about the Yankees, he has to.
You don't have to sell me. Listen, it shall be done. From this day forward, if he's coming on, he's got to have the fucking helmet on.
He's got to. First off, it does help to hide the face, which is a good thing.
And let's face it,
it's too big for the head and bobbles around.
He is a helmet.
Yes, he is a walking helmet.
Yes, he is a walking helmet, a walking, talking, living, breathing helmet.
So I like the fact that he gets the helmet on and gets right up on the screen.
Yeah, to the point where everything distorts.
Yes, exactly. So we will make that happen. I'm sure he'll be happy.
I would imagine when he comes up on you like that, I would imagine like if you were a fly and you're looking around like for food and all of a sudden somebody's like, what the fuck is that, a fly? That's a fly. Look at that shit. And the fly must just see this as you're coming. Is that a fly? With him with that helmet.
I wonder, Jeff, this may be too much for the show, but do you think Dom, in his romantic endeavors, wears the helmet?
Does he wear the helmet when he's giving helmet?
Yes.
Yes, without a doubt.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
He would do his best work with the helmet on, I think.
I believe that he definitely has a chin strap so that if he falls backwards or anything, he gets injured, falls off the bed, this way at least he's got a little protection. That without a doubt. I could see him all, what is he, 4'8"? Something naked with a pecker like a Twinkie and with a helmet on. Getting ready to like do all sorts of dives. He's probably like, look at this is I call this one my Fred Belinknikov. And he just does some like famous Raider thing. And
so would you say he's more intimidating with the natural helmet or the Raider helmet on?
Well, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know.
The natural helmet, I don't want to see the natural helmet, Jeff.
No, I wouldn't want to see him coming at me with that one either. No, thank you. Keep that one for yourself. I don't know. Think about him with his little pink Macanudo hanging out.
I prefer not to, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm going to bypass on thinking about Dom. But so we're gonna end the show. I'm going to go throw up. And
do you think that being that he has the helmet on, right, that maybe he puts like little silver and black pasty like bows on his nipples and I think he ties tassels around his nutmeg?
I think he draws the Raider emblem on his nipples.
Raider emblem on his nipples?
Yes, I think it's the Raider
emblem. With Derek's car on his other helmet?
Yes, exactly. With Derek Carr on the Raider helmet. On the
with a little black trim around the brim.
We're going to end the show right here because I can't go any further with this one. Guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for sticking around the Hard Rocket Sports Show. I hope you guys had a nice weekend. To our friends in Israel, shalom. One more time. Keep listening. We got to get over 10 on the ratings. But guys, have a great weekend.
And I don't know which way you guys are facing, but look behind you and make sure there ain't no Palestinians coming up on you.
You're scaring the people away, Jeff. Please.
I'm being honest, Tom. They may be relying on us for news.
That's true.
Maybe they think that we're giving out special codes. It's okay to come out of the house now. Come on out. Except for Thursdays, go in the house and listen to the show.
There you go, Jeff. Enjoy your weekend, pal. I will definitely talk to you over it, and I will talk to everybody. We'll talk to everybody next Thursday night right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. So for Jeff, myself, and everybody here at the Hard Rocket Sports Show, enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week. We'll see you Thursday night with Bobby Gustafson. Have a good one, pal.
Later, man. Don't forget that helmet.